Mic'd up with Mikie Mahtook. Got the boys in. I got Lloyd. We got J. Mitch. We got Jackie Boy.
He tried to jump up and he might have knocked it in.
Good time. Let's go. What a start to the Monday. I mean, I'm from Lafayette. My boys will come in, say
Oh, God.
So me and Joe on the ground. I got Joe in the headlock, and he's sitting there. Helmet. He's punching me in the stomach, like steady punching me.
Here, and there's everyone sitting around. Who here thinks Ochinko can practice today after having 5 full beers? And he goes, Chad Jones, right? Chad's been with the team 6 minutes for 7 minutes, right? Chad's like, no, man, I don't think Ochinko can practice today. And I was like, I look back, I'm like, Jesus Christ, I fucking saw you there. You were more fucked up than me.
Be on the Spirit plane had some issues. I think she was sleep farting.
You heard her, or you just thought it was her?
I sat right next to her. I smelled.
Whoa. What was that?
Time to start the show. Why would I have that?
You had a circus or something.
6'3", I'm waiting. Like, I don't even know what I'd be doing.
Now, when you do go to spring training, are you going to bring your chinchilla and your turtle? My dad tell you about it?
The SEC is, God, they hate fat people. I mean, I get crushed for that. You know what I mean? And it's like, come on, man.
Hey, just the South, bro. You got a bunch of food down here. Like they're
all fatter than I am.
Players, look at Lloyd.
You know what, Lloyd?
I mean, you're looking for a recruiting coordinator, coach. I'm here.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll piss my pants right now.
No way.
We're wearing gray pants, long gray pants. He goes, I'll piss my pants right now. Hello. Welcome back to Mic'd Up. Today is Monday, July 31st. We've missed you. It's been 10 days. That's the longest I think we've gone without having a show. We are in our new studio. We are in beautiful, very colorful, very creative. Cards. What's that word?
Equation.
That's you. You give the big words.
I'm about to look that one.
Listen, a lot of words he's going to give you that you don't know, right?
That's good. I like
Yeah.
it. Come on, Mike.
We are at Cards and Culture. This is our new home. We are super pumped. It is always nice and always fun to be able to do really cool things with your friends. So Anthony, we appreciate you housing us here.
Yes,
we
awesome.
appreciate us work together. We appreciate you sitting in and taking care of Jared. We had to change it. Never mind, I'm not gonna. Jared's not here. I can't make fun of him while he's not here. He's
not here to defend
He's
himself.
enjoying his time in Italia, in Italy.
Yeah.
He's in. I think he's in Barcelona right now.
Look at that.
He's in Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Barcelona. He's having a great time. He'll be back on the show on Friday. But we are back. We are ready to go. Football season. It is basically August. Once August hits, it is football season. Stuff's starting to ramp up. You have a lot of NFL news coming out. going to get to all of that, right? We're going to run through the Heineken headlines. Obviously, I announced in the studio. We are pumped to be here. Joe Burrow has a little bit of an injury scare in camp. Everybody looked like it was an Achilles. Based off of my extensive medical background, I immediately said, oh, it's a calf strain. And it was probably because I was hopeful.
Yeah.
I was
Optimistic?
being very optimistic because I did not want to see a season in the NFL without Joe Burrow. And luckily, it was a calf strain. He'll probably be on the bench, on the sidelines for the rest of his preseason, I would imagine. They're not going to put him back out there. But it was definitely avoided a disaster, which is huge, right? Also in NFL news, does Jim Irsay hate the running back position? Sounds like he does hate the running back position. Sounds like he is making up reasons why Jonathan Stewart. I almost said the wrong name. Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor, he's making up reasons on why Jonathan Taylor is not going to play. Oh, his back injury. Well, then Jonathan Taylor comes out, says no back injury. That's made up. You're just doing this so that you don't have to pay me. A lot of things going on. Now he requested a trade. Irsay says no trade is happening. Period. Basically, just is not happening. I'm the owner. I don't do that. So a lot of drama going on in the NFL. But you know what that does? That brings viewers. That brings eyeballs. And that makes it interesting. NBA has mastered that model, right? NFL is doing it. Baseball is way behind that, right? They have not figured out that. Pay attention. Eyes here. Eyes here, okay? You got a lot of different scenery. You have a lot of different scenery that happens here.
I think that was not a good
Perkins,
look.
bro, you didn't have these elements.
No,
like
it didn't have these
in the
elements.
Studio.
We have a nice window. We can see everything happening. We got a lot of things happening. This is great.
Right? I was trying to see what was going on, too. I was using the periffs, though.
This is great. This is great stuff. This is great stuff. This is what you're going to get now. You're going to get a lighter show. You're going to get more of our personality. We've already shown our personalities, but you're going to get more of the personality because this just invites
It's going to be good.
us to be us. It's going to be awesome.
Energy's going to be good. I can't wait for Friday.
Shout out to the kids.
Oh, yeah, shout out to the
Yeah.
kids.
Shout out our boys that come through Cards and Culture, Thomas Landry and his squad.
We got about,
Hopefully you guys are watching.
five or six new subscribers
Yep.
in about 2 minutes. That was great. Are the Saints going to be good? Are they going to be kind of scary? I think so, right? Sean Payton comes out in Denver and is trashing Nathaniel Hackett
that was wild.
in New York. And then Aaron Rodgers, who seems like the Jets seem like they're going to be really good, right? He seems like he has bought into the young guys. The young guys are bought into him. Him and Sauce Gardner have their cool-ass handshake. They're doing all this stuff, right? And Nathaniel Hackett, who is now the offensive coordinator there in New York, was the head coach in Denver.
Okay, that's the connection.
Didn't do a very good job, obviously. They were very bad. They were supposed to be good. They were very bad. Russell Wilson was horrendous. And, now Sean Payton goes there, and Sean Payton comes out and verbally reprimands, basically, Nathaniel Hackett and saying this is the worst head coaching job I've ever seen in my entire life, which felt like that was
20 dirty hands.
That was a little aggressive, I
It is,
think.
tad.
I think
Tad
that was
aggressive.
uncalled for,
Yeah,
maybe. Aaron Rodgers basically says, keep my coach's name out your mouth. So
Love the drama.
another little drama, right? Which is good. This is, it's August. It's hot. It's very hot. People start getting a little edgy and a little chippy. Preseason football is right around the corner. This is good.
When do those two teams match up?
Week 5.
Oh, there it is. I knew
You already knew it. Look
Ready.
at that. Look,
There it
dude,
is.
look at you doing your job
knew it.
over there.
Yep.
I love that.
Some
Love
time
that.
off. Had some
Love
time
that.
off, dude.
10 days, baby. I'm sharp. Let's go.
Ready.
Oh,
Got my prescription in.
that's
you're
good.
cooking.
To round out the Heineken headlines, LSU baseball picks up a huge transfer in Luke Holman, right? Hopefully, Luke Holman will be on. Actually, hopefully Luke Holman will be on the show on Friday, right? Not in person, via video call. He has spoken with him today.
No cooking that
It
much.
sounds like the rumors that are happening around the baseball world, it sounds like LSU is about done in the portal, right? There's one big name that is still out there in the portal. I think people are going to be surprised at the decision that he makes. He may not be moving.
Who's that?
Braden Montgomery.
Where-
the guy
where's
from
he?
Stanford. He was
Okay,
an All-American.
yeah. Oh,
he was
yeah,
really
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Apparently, I don't know what's going to happen, but what I'm hearing through the grapevine is he may stay put there at Stanford.
Yeah.
And so
Not a bad option.
Not a bad option.
Yeah.
Look, they went. If you haven't watched college baseball recently, Stanford has been to get to Omaha is very hard to do.
Yeah.
They've been there the last 3 years
Yeah.
in a row. So they're pretty good. Haven't gotten over the hump, but look, they're getting there. They're successful. He's from out there. Stay out there. Enjoy your time there. Get your degree from Stanford, which
You got something great set up there.
I mean, it's no reason to move, right?
Yeah.
But I think Jay's very happy with who he's got. I think he's happy with the guys he has coming in. I think he understands that he needs to get these young guys into the lineup and develop these guys. You can't keep bringing these transfers in, and you don't ever have these young guys develop because at some point they're going to leave. They're going to go somewhere else, right? Paxton Clean's going to get a big opportunity next year. He's going to get the guy. He's going to be the everyday guy probably in center field, and you're going to have all these. You're going to have Ethan Frynut. You don't like him right now, Lloyd?
That's not.
No, you said it.
Not business.
You have said that.
Who?
Ethan Fry.
I'm excited about Paxton Clean.
Me too. I think he's a stud.
Me too.
I think he's a first rounder. I'm excited though, and you can speak to this because you were a pitcher. And we've talked about this. Jack talked about it. We posted this on our Twitter. We lose the number 1 overall pick, $9.2 million signing bonus. We lose your number 2 guy who got drafted 36 overall with $2 million signing bonus. You lose probably your second best pitcher who didn't pitch at all to almost $2 million in the 58th overall pick.
Is that what he got?
Yep, like 1.7 or something. And he didn't pitch 1 inning this year.
He didn't pitch. That's wild.
Yep. And he didn't even have great numbers last year. He just threw really well on the Cape. You know how that goes.
Yeah, exactly.
You did that once upon a time.
That's how you get paid. Timing is everything.
Timing is everything, right? With all those guys going and the guys that we have coming back and the young guys that we have, I may think that our staff is better next year than it was this year, which is crazy to say because you had Paul Skeens. But I think deeper and more talented and more experienced, I think that they're going to be better next year. The kid from UCLA is really good. The lefty that we got from UCLA, very good, right? You have Luke Holman, Friday night guy for Alabama, really good. Like, we have dudes up and down now. Obviously, baseball is a crazy game. Injuries can happen. You never know what's going to happen. But I would say that I think our pitching staff is going to be, going into the season, our strong suit.
Yeah.
Now, that's scary knowing that Jay's an offensive guy and has been able to develop offensive guys throughout his career. So,
what do you think of you guys had their new pitching coach on, right, on the show?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think? You like
awesome.
him? He seemed awesome. Good.
Very like methodical in how he goes about things, how he speaks.
Yeah.
He feels like he's very thoughtful about the stuff, and Matt Boyd, right?
Yeah.
Matt Boyd was at Oregon State. I played with him in Detroit, and the minute we signed him, or the minute he decided to come be our pitching coach, Matt Boyd calls me and he's like, "Bro, this guy is awesome. This guy changed my career.
Really?
He made me the guy I am today. Like, you're gonna love this guy." And so like that's awesome. A big league pitcher, an all-star.
Yeah.
In the big league. So I'm pretty pumped about him. I think, and Nolan Cain talked about how good he was.
Yep.
And so he's got experience with Jay, which that always means a lot.
Yeah.
When you have continuity within the coaching staff, I think maybe this, I don't know, that rumors were sometimes they didn't pitching coach and head coach didn't really see eye to eye on some things, which that happens in the game of baseball. It happens in sports.
And Jay said that if he wouldn't have taken the job with A&M, he was going to hire him to come to LSU, but the timing just didn't work out. So it's somebody that he's always had his eye on. Obviously, LSU's able to work it out and get Wes Johnson from the Twins, where they're making a playoff push, and you see the
which
that
honestly,
was absurd.
and look, we're LSU guys, and we thought that that's really good, that was great that he came here, but at the same time, if you really take a step back away from LSU, like, damn, this guy leaves a big league pitching coach job on a first place team to come to college, and the team just kind of lets him go. Like, was there something behind the scenes that they didn't like there in Minnesota? I don't know.
Yeah.
Look, pitching staff was fine. He 1 year at LSU. Now he's the head coach at Georgia. Here's the deal: Jay Johnson now has a coaching tree. Right, the last 3 pitching coaches that have been here. Are all head coaches.
Yeah, that's wild.
So
it's a good sell.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's
the salary is one thing, but then you do your job here, you're gonna.
You go ahead and be a head coach. He's got a coaching tree.
Yep.
For his time here at LSU, he's got a coaching tree.
Yep.
Which, look, great thing. Now we bring another one.
Very long.
I know. Exactly.
No,
that's
right,
crazy.
which is amazing.
And he's got a natty, by the way.
Yeah, and a natty.
Second year. Speaking of their second year, Brian Kelly. A lot of pressure and good pressure, not bad pressure, good pressure. Last year was the pressure, right?
Yeah.
Like, damn, Brian Kelly, we had such a bad year 2 years in a row. You're coming in here. You're supposed to fix the culture. You're supposed to be an adult at the head coaching job, right, at LSU.
Check that box because it hasn't.
You're supposed to know what you're supposed to be intelligent. And you're supposed to just come here. Can he do it at LSU? He obviously proved that he can do it. They went 10 wins. They won the SEC West. They look. I think that they were as good as they could have been last year. I think this year they have the potential to be very, 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 very good, right? You had Javian Toviano on your up and in show.
Dude,
I think he's a superstar, right? Like, just the way he carries himself.
Yeah, dude, he was unbelievable. Talking to that kid, I swear to God, it didn't seem like he was an 18-year-old sitting next to me. I was like, it's crazy.
I'd imagine he's going to be in there day one.
That's what Joe said. Again, I don't know the ins and outs of college football and especially new recruits and stuff like that, but kid said he's in there mixing it up, with the first string and that kind of stuff, and at least challenging, competing for a spot. I think there's a couple different packages that he's like being mixed into that he maybe hadn't always played his whole life, but
Right.
I heard he's adjusting well. And I mean, like I said, the kid's mindset seems absolutely incredible.
Well, here's the deal. When you come out of high school and you're that elite, like it's, hey, you cover this guy, you don't let him catch the ball. Right? You're that good, you can do that.
Yeah.
In football, in college, in the SEC, you have to understand coverages, you have to understand reads, you have to understand what the guy's trying to do to you. And so it's a little bit more thinking, which can kind of slow you down athletically.
Right.
And it's the ones that can catch on to it really quick, a la Patrick Peterson, a la Tyrann Mathieu, all those guys, they excel early on because they have the talent along with the mental capacity to get it quick. Not saying that the guys who took a little longer were not capable of doing it. It's just sometimes it takes longer. From what I've been told, this guy's got that.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking forward to watching him on the field do the stuff that he's going to do. LSU was picked to finish second.
Behind
in
who,
the SEC
Bama?
West, behind Alabama, which is okay. I like that. I like not being picked first. Right now.
Like chasing something, yeah. So,
Yeah, exactly.
That's good.
It's still Alabama. Hey, we beat y'all. We're going to you. We still have to beat you. Like I like that.
That's a big one. That's going to be tough, too.
They had how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players preseason first team All SEC, right? And out of those
Alabama
6,
did?
No, LSU.
Oh, dude, let me share the document with you. That would probably help.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What?
Oh, yeah,
Show
you're part
document.
Oh,
of
yeah,
the
yeah.
squad now.
Yeah, you're part of the
Part of the
team.
squad now.
I
You
see
get-
that, yeah. Give me that.
So, Jaden Daniels,
You're over there fucking
Duh.
blind.
Malik Neighbors, duh. Will Campbell, duh. Makai Wingo, duh. Mason Smith, and Harold Perkins. Like,
Wow.
Duh.
and duh. Like,
But
obviously,
those-
it shows you how good LSU
That's
was.
what I mean, yeah.
And that's without Mason Smith last year.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
He didn't even play.
They had 3 second team. Mason Taylor, Slade Roy, and Nathan Dilbert. And 2 third teams. Major Burns, who I feel like he's been in college for 7 years.
Cowboy collar.
And yep, love that. And Emory Jones. I think Emory Jones has a chance to be elevated up higher than just third team because he was really good last year. He's the starting right tackle.
Yeah.
The
That's right. I was
freshman.
like, yep.
Both ends,
yep.
both tackles were freshmen
Yep.
last year. I think that now they'll put themselves in a really good look. Big test, first game of the season against Florida State. I'm super pumped about football season. I started
I
getting,
can't.
it's August when you start getting videos sent to you on Instagram from your boys, and it's all like LSU highlights. It's,
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
that time.
The hype's it's
It's that time. And
You are a
also,
month
like,
away.
there are no sports on right now, too. It is the worst thing ever.
Dude, it's not. And baseball, look, baseball's on, but
Yeah, it's
hard.
baseball.
It's
yeah,
hard to
just-
watch baseball
exactly,
every day.
Exactly.
And I love it. We love it.
Yeah, I like them for the big games. I like Sunday night games, Wednesday night games, but I'm like, I also like when they're in the rotation of football, basketball, like there's all kinds of stuff going on, college sports. It just feels like there's nothing
Yeah,
right
there's
now.
nothing.
You want to feel
Once-
forced to watch it.
Yeah, exactly. That's it, too. Yeah, you don't want to be like, well, at least we have baseball.
You know what is back?
What?
Which has been electric.
What?
Slam ball.
Slam ball.
Have you not seen it?
No, I have not been
Oh, it's
watching
back.
it.
It's on ESPN Plus all the time.
What?
Oh, it is.
That's cool. I got to lock
Awesome.
in on that.
Somebody tweet. He's like, he's 5'6" and he can yam. He's like, yeah, there's trampolines
No,
on
no,
the
no,
court.
no, 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 no.
But I mean, of course he can dunk, and that means there's trampolines
Oh,
everywhere.
called slam ball.
go watch him not on trampolines.
Oh, I'm sure he can do both.
yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
saying. it was
This
just funny.
guy,
It was like,
he's like a
he
40.
can get up. Like, well, yeah.
This guy's got like a
He's
48
playing
inch.
on trampolines. Yeah, I
This
hope
guy's
so.
got like a 48 inch vertical.
Damn.
5'6". Like,
Well, his calves are huge. He's jumping on trampolines
the
all
whole
day.
time.
Yeah.
Right. He's doing the whole what's the big shoe that you used to have when you were a kid with
Oh
no
yeah,
heel?
the
Like the-
the toe.
Yeah,
I know what
whatever
you're
it's
talking
called.
about.
I
Yeah.
used to do the drills, the high
Yeah.
knees in the backyard.
Remember Bo had him all the time.
Oh, you used to try
he'd
to
bring
do
him to
it.
the bar.
Didn't really work. He did. He did. He wore him to the bar.
Strength shoe or something like
Something
that or
like
whatever.
that, yeah.
Oh my god, bro, he would wear him to the bar.
Get your reps in.
That's what he would say.
Yeah. All right. You're always working.
Yeah.
If you're not trying to
Such
get
a
the
funny
edge on your
visual to
opponent,
bring
then you're
those
doing
to the
something
bar.
wrong.
Like it's more of a bit than I'm actually like, oh, I wore my shoes out. Like definitely gonna get laid tonight.
Yeah, dude, he was the funny guy at the bar. He had to do that. Yeah, it was perfect. Yeah, he gave it to a girl one night and she wore him too at the bar.
Left foot, right foot.
Yeah.
So we spoke a little bit about Joe earlier. Joe Burrow. Rumor is that Joe's going to be on. Have you watched the quarterback?
Yeah, I love it.
Rumor is he's going to be on the second season.
know, I
Now
heard
that's
that.
a rumor, hasn't been confirmed. I don't know. It's just hard for me to believe that Joe Burrow is going to agree to that when during football season it seems like it's always only football. I'm laser focused. I don't want anybody talking to me behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But maybe not.
Maybe he's getting older. Maybe he's.
Do you think Pat winning the Super Bowl while he was on it is more of like a
No.
Maybe.
I don't think so. I don't think it's. I think Joe's mindset. I mean, look, maybe, but from what everybody that's close to him, everything that they've said is like, hey, when it's football season, good luck trying to talk to him.
Right.
Right. And so
very focused. Yeah.
you have cameras
cool,
in your face all the time.
Maybe they just paid him a ton. You know. Maybe his agent was like, "This is good. This is good for your brand."
I mean, he's
It'll
about
be
to
good."
get paid a ton.
Yeah.
We talked about that. I think they create. I'm interested to see the deal because now you've had the 3 other quarterbacks in that class all get paid, right? They've all broke the record of the last quarterback. Joe is the last one ready, waiting for that deal. He's going to get paid the most, right? He'll be the highest paid quarterback out of those guys.
Herbert just got paid, right?
That's what I mean.
Who's gonna beat that?
He's going
right?
to beat Herbert, right? And so I'm interested to see what they do and how creative they get in the deal that he does. We've talked about this. Talked about, is it going to be ownership percentage? Is it going to be percentage of something else? Joe has hinted at them having these type of creative talks. Like, hey, I understand what I need to do to continue to win at a long time. I'm not trying to just get paid and not win.
Right.
I know that my legacy is based off of winning, so I want to be able to get my contract, but also be able to have a team around me that I know that's capable of winning for a long time, which means seems like they're having some creative conversations.
Can you imagine equity at this point in his career or something?
That's what I think was.
I mean, it makes sense, right? Branding wise, Ohio kid, right? Like maybe it's a lifetime contract that he like signs with them or something. That would be wild. How can you do that though? Because when he has 10 years left to play, and what if he gets traded or they need to trade him?
Andy almost got burned with the. Obviously, it wasn't an Achilles; it was a calf injury. But them waiting for that long to be able to like try to sign a deal to be last almost burned him. But I still feel like they would do a good faith deal. I don't know if you can give them equity in a team.
Right.
I don't know if it works that way. But you could do it the Pat Mahomes way, where you, like, hey, we can give you equity in the Reds. Like we know.
Well, he can't. They didn't give him. He bought equity in it. Like they didn't
That's
give
what I'm
him
saying. But
equity.
he introduced those conversations. I'd imagine
Yeah,
you go
for
from
sure.
ownership to ownership to be able to like, all right, like this is how you're gonna make your money.
Well,
I don't know.
Because Tom Brady tried to do the same thing with the Dolphins, and it got shut down pretty quickly.
I wonder if it's like a profit share
By
thing,
the
like
league.
instead of like a revenue share.
Something. I'm
Hey,
not saying they
jerseys sold in the
necessarily-
shop, right? Like, hey, look, we'll do this on this. and-
outside of the whatever they're already
Right.
getting from the NFL.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
something creative. And look, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a normal deal, and
Right.
you move on.
I love that though. That to me, but that to me shows that the world is changing, right? Where the value of business and like it's not necessarily dollars all the time, right? Maybe he sees the long-term vision in the value of his team as a whole, the Bengals as a whole, right? Like that's really interesting to me to see that how things are changing. It's not just about each dollar now.
Yeah, and like you want a player to be invested. How
That's
much
what I
more
mean.
do you
That's
want to
really
be
cool.
invested
Yeah.
in the team if you own part of the team?
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, can't be more invested than that.
Yeah, and we sell more jerseys the more games that we win. So if I have a 25% of our sales of our jerseys, and we get an extra home game for the playoff, right? Like all this stuff, whatever.
100%.
I don't know how that works, but that would be really interesting.
Something.
to me.
And I don't know if it's even possible by the NFL. I don't
Right.
know the rules with
I
that
know,
kind of
yeah.
stuff, but
It's
it's fun to think about.
Exactly, that's it,
Listen,
yeah.
Michael Jordan was ahead of his time when he did that whole deal with Nike, right?
Yep.
I think that movie
Air?
that they made, Air is
yep.
awesome. I think that it shows. I think what happened and what he did, he was way ahead of his time. Now you're starting to see other athletes do that. LeBron has done stuff like that. You have done. You're getting these other types of deals of these guys thinking, all right, like, yeah, when I'm playing, I'm worth this money. I'm still getting this money. Like, do I want $30 million a year now, or do I want $20 million a year now, and then I want $15 million for the next 15 years after I retire? Mookie Betts, go look at Mookie Betts' contract. In 2043, Mookie Betts going to make $24 million. He got it all deferred.
It's a lot deferred. Wow.
And he's already making a ton of money. Like when you're playing, you already have all your endorsement deals.
Yeah.
So like guys like Mookie and those guys who are superstars, they're making all this money off the field right now anyway, right? So if he's worth $30 million a year, but he said, okay, I want you to pay me 12, and then I'm going to make another 10 in endorsement deals, and I'm going to get deferred money for the next 15, 20 years after I retire.
Yep.
Now you don't have to do anything.
Exactly.
Right?
Life's
like that's
good,
smart.
yeah. You're literally just making
Batista,
money.
Bayou Bonilla did it,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like
Ken Griffey Jr.
Ken Griffey Jr. is getting paid from the Reds. Like,
He's
and
the
by the
third
way-
highest player on the
Yep.
team.
Who?
Third
Ken
highest.
Griffey Jr.?
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
but
I love that.
third highest paid player. That's a tongue twister. right
Yes.
there. Third highest paid player on the Reds right now, and they're in first place.
Wow.
You
Yeah,
should
that's
have
pretty
to
cool.
play.
They're an exciting team.
Yeah,
They
I
should
love
be
that
able to
team.
use.
I love that team.
Ken Griffey should have to play like once a week.
I think he
Take batting practice or something, or
I think
home
he'd
run
sneak
derby.
a homer out.
Yeah, I
he'd
think
slow
so
down
too.
in a
Yeah.
game. He may rip an oblique.
He's a big boy now, though. He's a little bigger. He's a little bigger now.
DH only.
Put him in the vest.
Yeah,
Let's see.
no doubt.
I got to see if Ohtani hit a homer. The Angels scored a run on the first inning. It's one of my favorite things to check
Did you
every
see
day.
what he did the other day? Where
Yeah,
they had a doubleheader and he
Actually,
pitched a one pitch.
It's the most
shutty.
amazing thing ever.
Nobody's ever done that.
Ever in baseball.
The only person that's ever done that same game or same day is when he pitched. In the 70s, he pitched and hit in the same game. Nobody pitched a complete game shutout, and then the next day, or the next game, doubleheader, hit 2 home runs. He's gonna get. If he gets paid $600 million, I think that's still not
It's
enough.
underpaid, yeah.
Still
He should get
enough.
350 as a pitcher and 350 as a hitter. If
no
Mookie got 400 as a hitter, he should get that. Or if
doubt.
Judge, whatever he got, right?
Even what Trout got.
That's what I mean. It's crazy.
And they're both on the same team.
And they stink.
And the odds are.
Sting.
And
What-
they
Go ahead.
stink.
How about this, though? I was listening to this on SportsCenter with the trade deadline tomorrow, right? What if they decide to go all in this year on the make the playoffs to try to impress Shohei? I like calling him Shohei.
Shohei.
I like
He's
calling him Shohei, yeah. Instead of Shohei.
Yoshi?
Shohei. But what if they do that, right? They're getting rid of their farm players right now to acquire pieces, and then they don't sign him, bro. Their organization is going to be in the shitter forever. Like,
Yeah. So the Vegas odds.
Poor Trout.
I know.
Like, what's he going to be doing next year when, like, Shohei goes and signs somewhere and he's like, oh, great, we got nobody in the minor leagues. We're going to suck for the next 5 years?
Yeah, I'm still here with all this contract.
exactly.
And I've been hurt the last 3 years.
Exactly.
Like,
That sucks.
the Vegas odds have Shohei at minus 300 to re-sign with the Angels. So
They gotta know
now
something.
look.
They got to know something.
You would think right now, but I don't know. Maybe Shohei's got some. Maybe he brought his family to LA or so. I don't know. Something.
Right.
Is there's a
They
reason
know.
why it's minus 300. That's a
100%.
big.
That's awesome.
Number.
Okay, well, that makes me feel better because I'm like, God bless. Like, the Angels are going to.
Yeah.
That sucks.
You would think, okay, if he's not going to be here, he's probably going to go to the Yankees.
Yeah.
You know, or the Mets, or somewhere in New York.
Or the
where they can-
Dodgers.
Or,
Maybe
or stay in LA and go to the
He
Dodgers.
said he wants to stay in LA.
Okay, so it's going to be the.
The Dodgers are
Dodgers
the.
are-
The Padres.
That's it.
He can go to San Diego. Like he wants
I feel
to
like
stay
I
in
see him on
California.
a West Coast as a West Coast team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he said. He
He's
likes.
made
Said
his
he
home
likes
there.
the
He's
West
made his
Coast.
home there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he came over.
The person that is getting to slide on all of this is Anthony Rendon. It's like not hurt, not playing, and getting all the
he
guaranteed
got hurt.
money.
He fouled a ball off his shin.
Yeah.
It's 210
But he
M's.
just hit, like-
whatever
Listen,
the hell
I
it was.
fouled a
Shohei
ball off my
doesn't
shin. I
even
still have a
like him.
bump on my shin.
Yeah, Shohei doesn't like him. You could see him sit in the dugout next to each other, and he tried to shake his hand.
Okay.
And Show was like,
okay.
I'm just saying, they're tired of him. Like,
Okay.
you're gonna get all this money and not play. It's baseball.
Yeah.
Play.
Shohei
Yeah.
told you that?
Uh-huh, I
He
talked
told
to
you. He
him.
told you didn't like him.
Showy
When'd
message.
you talk to Shohei?
Who's my other? The guy that needed a translator? Oh, Banana. The guy that had to eat a banana when he cramps. He's like, Mookie never cramps.
yeah.
Kawasaki.
Kawasaki's the best. You played
Is
against him
it
in triple.
Kawasaki?
Yeah, it was Kawasaki. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the guy from the Blue Jays.
The
Yeah.
best.
He was awesome.
So I
He
went
was
through
awesome.
him to talk to Shohei.
I went through him.
Okay,
He
fair enough.
never
Two
cried.
banana.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Two banana.
Oh boy, we just bounced around there, didn't we?
I know. It's new show, new energy.
A lot of energy. They're gonna have a lot of good energy. Listen, and I don't want to make too many announcements early on.
Right.
But this is our studio. We are growing. We are a growing show. We're building. We have a lot of things that we're building. We have a lot of really cool ideas and collaborations that we have in the works. With that said, we are going to be in this new beautiful studio for a few months before we get into our bigger, more beautiful studio.
Big.
Right?
Yeah.
So my whole point is we couldn't do this without all of you. We couldn't do this without our subscribers, all of our fans. I apologize for being gone for 10 days and not having shows. We had a lot of stuff going on. We had a lot of content during the World Series. We had a lot of traveling. We were doing a lot of different things. We've been in transition. We wanted to make sure
Did
that
you go to Omaha?
Yeah, but see, I only went once. You got to go twice.
This guy over here.
Yeah, because I got
Flying
him on
plane-
PJ.
Yeah, I know. Private jets.
Unbelievable.
Living the life. baby.
Unbelievable. And then he has the nerve. He goes, "Oh, bro, you want to go?" I'm like, "You really think I'm gonna make you not go?" Like, he knew the answer to the question
I had to
before.
ask.
Yeah.
Before, just to make himself feel better. It's okay.
Yeah.
You got to go there twice, but we had a lot of stuff
nice.
going on.
We
I
had room
wanted to
for one
make
more.
sure that we were ready for this move and that we didn't have any technical difficulties. It's going to be a work in progress. I think it looks beautiful.
Yeah, I thought you guys pulled it off.
I think it looks great.
This is way
We
better than I
appreciate
thought.
you giving us some time here.
Dude, this was awesome.
We
This is
appreciate
great.
it.
It works out great.
Obviously, shout out Joe Rodriguez.
Yeah, Joe
Shout out,
Rodriguez,
shout out to
But
Joe
not be
Rodriguez.
pla- I don't want to take
Hey,
any
listen,
credit for this.
This new studio at Cars and Culture, it's brought to you by our friends down at EVCO Development. If you don't know about EVCO, listen. If you're living in Baton Rouge right now and you're watching us, we just went through this like a mini storm for like
what happened.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
That was pretty gnarly.
Yeah, I just got a note that my dog is like freaking out. She never freaks out about weather ever,
Yeah.
and since I've had her for 3 years. And she's like, the girl was like, oh my God, she's shaking. I've never seen her shake. She didn't want to go up the stairs at your apartment.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah,
crazy.
gnarly storm.
That was a nasty
right?
storm.
She did a little thunder vest.
Yeah.
Little
Like,
thunder
yeah.
buddy.
Damn, I was like, she'd been so good for 3 years. I was like, she didn't have any like.
That
weather issues. Yeah.
was a crazy. That was a crazy.
That was
storm.
crazy. It was kind of wild. Yeah.
But our new move to the studio is brought to you by EVCO Development. If you don't know anything about EVCO Development, they're a civil construction company. They specialize in new multifamily construction. They also specialize in site drainage, site utilities, earthwork, site clearing, and that's where the storm comes in play. It's hurricane season. You may have some of these thunderstorms that come through over the next few months. Hopefully, in my other business, the insurance business, hopefully there's not any hurricanes that actually hit, because that would not be good for me. That would not be good for everybody else that is trying to get this insurance. But if you do have any site clearing or hurricane cleanup, EVCO Development are your people. If you're interested, they are based out of Lafayette. Call the number at 337-534-4675. Again, that number is 337-534-4675. Tell them that we sent you. They'll be extremely nice to you. Hopefully they give you a little bit of a deal. If not, they'll be very nice to you. That's all you can ask for nowadays. A lot of people don't want to work anymore. A lot of people are very mean and rude, and there will be very nice people. So,
And they'll be really nice.
And Tyler's in a great mood if you would have called today. Shot 65 over the weekend to win a golf
I
tournament.
shot 95.
65 is a low.
It is very
65
low.
is, that's a strong score.
Number.
I played very bad this weekend. Did not play good. I was very disappointed in myself.
That's your fault.
Yes.
You don't invite me out to play.
In golf, it is always your fault. You can't blame anybody else but you.
Yeah. Yep.
We used to play once a week together, and you just stopped calling me. So
I mean, I didn't play last week until the weekend. I was in a tournament. I can't invite you to play in the tournament that
I'm saying, whenever you want to get fixed, let me know.
Heat it up. I love it.
I mean, listen.
Good.
Someone's a little butthurt over there. It's okay.
10
Go
days.
play
Been 10
whenever. I'm a
days.
member too.
It's been 10 days.
Yes. Whose fault is that? You should go play. You should
should.
say, hey, let's go play golf.
Hey, let's go play golf
Ooh, there it
When
is.
you
It's
wanna
on
go?
here.
tomorrow.
I can't go tomorrow.
Oh, see, it's
I
always
got work.
It's always,
I
there's
got
always
work.
something. There's always something.
Thursday,
I got work.
Friday.
Oh, maybe Thursday, actually. Maybe Thursday.
I'm going to see Oppenheimer too. That'd be a hell of a
I've
day.
seen it.
too.
I've seen
Is it good?
It's great.
I want to go see. I think I might go see it now. I need to catch up on my.
No,
sleep
you
tonight.
got to wait. You couldn't get tickets right now. If, like you couldn't get a good seat. We tried to go.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's still that popular.
We
Good for them.
I'm
It's
going
good.
with
3
my-
hours. Like
Oh, it's
it's
a big commitment too.
It's good,
I want to
though.
go earlier in the
you got to be like right state of mind. You can't be like
No,
tired.
tired,
You got to be
exactly.
locked
So
in.
I'm
I can help with that.
Actually, you know,
Lloyd, we just had some nice kids become subscribers to our show. You can't just be bad influence on these new
think
people.
about caffeine. He's got a couple.
Yeah,
He's
you're
got
right.
a good coffee.
Yeah, you're right.
Coffee.
That's a good point. Coffee,
Coffee.
espresso.
Espresso, double espresso. You got the new espresso
Yeah,
machine he
yeah.
was telling me about.
Yeah, the red eye. They call it the red eye.
They call it the red.
Fits in my book sack.
Lloyd, you had a bunch of conversations this morning on your, at your other show.
Through
People
football.
talk to
I was
you?
making sure no, I was talking on Colada.
Oh, okay.
No. I mean, we were talking. People do talk to me apparently, allegedly, sometimes.
Sometimes.
But we kind of breezed past.
We didn't breeze
LSU.
past it. I was coming back to it.
Okay, yeah.
What?
That was the headlines. We had a book of headlines because we've been gone for a long time. We had to catch up on a lot of stuff. And so I was
think this
always
LSU
coming
football-
back to it.
Yeah, I think this LSU football team has a chance to be really, really
And
good.
you are the most pessimistic
I
person I
know.
know.
I tried
And
not
he,
to
and
let
he
it
hates
happen.
LSU football.
No,
this
he
year?
loves LSU football, but he's pessimistic always.
This. Oh, okay.
I
He
like
never
to,
thinks they're good.
I don't want to. I don't want
He
to
didn't think he didn't think Brian Kelly could recruit Louisiana. He didn't think Brian
Well-
Kelly could recruit. He didn't think he just did all a bunch of things that he's
I'd like to,
since-
to prove it first. I
think
don't,
he's
want
a-
to, I don't want to crown him just yet.
Well, don't give him the opportunity without you saying he couldn't do it.
And I think
That was
I
my whole
nudged him
point.
in the right direction.
Oh yeah, you did it.
Yeah, he's got
You
8 out,
definitely
of, 8 out of
motivated
the
him.
top 10 recruits in Louisiana. I think I
Lit a little fire. That was
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
He
it.
watched this. He saw, damn, Lloyd, I really care what he
like,
thinks
yep,
about
exactly.
me
Yeah.
and my
He's right,
recruiting
yeah.
prowess. So I'm going to make sure that I show him how good I am.
Makes sense.
Good job, Lloyd.
Thank you.
LSU
I'll do
Nation can
that.
thank you for that.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'll
the
wear
squad
that hat.
is going to be good this year because you lit a fire.
Yeah.
Just because of you.
He didn't understand.
But now he does.
Now he does.
Now he does.
Now explain to me your recruiting. Give me your
It was
recruiting.
over. So the win total for LSU was over under 9.5, which I feel like is high.
It is high. I feel
It's
like.
high, but I also feel like it's super attainable. When you go through the schedule, it's a little bit of a shakeup this year, and what it looks like.
As we progress, we'll have these graphics on there with the schedule. We
we
just
go.
like, what
Or a
does it do?
confidence monitor.
Yeah, well, our confidence monitor's not there. Actually, we could use this as a confidence monitor.
Okay.
Not now. Not now.
HDMI cord.
Not now. Not now.
I
But
think it
I
could
just
work.
think with the way, I mean,
will.
obviously Taviano, your interview was very impressive. I think he's going to play a role. You have Laterris Welsh that
I love him.
me too.
I think he's going to be a stud. He's from Acadiana. I think he's extremely talented, and he's waited long enough. I think he's gonna be good.
And you had, if you remember, Mason Smith that recruited for LSU before he left
the
and
other
went to
Mason
A&M.
Smith.
The other Mason, single A
Smaller
Mason.
Mason Smith.
Single A.
Yeah.
Before
I
he
do
left,
like that his name is Double A. I like double A Mason Smith.
but before he left and went to A&M, but he was like, we were asking him to give us one guy. He's like, Laterris Welch is going to be an absolute
Yep.
player.
Nice,
And
okay.
so he helped recruit him. He obviously helped recruit Will Campbell.
And he's a redshirt freshman, right? Yeah.
And so just the way that they bring in Denver Harris, you bring in Deuce Chestnut, who I think is going to play a massive role. You have 18 running backs, and you don't know which one's good, but none of them are bad.
Well, you have one that's maybe not eligible yet still.
Oh, he's
somehow.
working through it.
Somehow. How is that possible?
Wait, how was
I don't
what?
even know how many classes there are left to take. John
Emery.
Like,
He's not eligible right now?
no, he's getting there. He's working towards being eligible, which is good. He's at practice. He's on the team, but he's still trying to get it. Just a couple of things you got to get filed away, which it's unbelievable. Because
Anyway, let's not talk
sports
about that.
admin. There's not that many classes.
Let's not talk bad about that. But back to, you have other than him, we have a lot of running backs.
And
A
then
lot of
you-
running backs.
Who's starting first game of the year? Do we know? Logan.
You think?
So where was he last year?
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Wow.
Transfer from Notre
Okay,
Dame.
so that was my question. I was going to say, is the transfer portal as volatile as it is for baseball right now for football? Is it worse? It is.
When
So it's
LSU
free agency for football too, the same way.
Yes.
And it's probably
Yes.
even more. Like they
Well,
just
even more.
promise
So-
more, especially at the Power 5 schools and shit, right?
100%. So it's
Try not to curse,
it's
No, you can.
We can curse here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't-
Oh, no,
Okay.
100%.
Sometimes I always forget.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
Yes.
Potty
Baseball, you see all the guys coming into the SEC for the most part.
Right.
Right. Football, you're seeing everybody come into the SEC, some going to the Big Ten, and some going to the Big 12. That's really about it. Every now and then the Pac-12, but the Pac-12 is, Colorado's trying to get back into the Big 12. When they have USC, and USC is kind of relative now because
Yeah.
Caleb Williams is
Right.
really good.
Right. And who's
but
their
yeah.
coach over there too? Don't they have a?
Yeah, the guy
USC?
from Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, Lincoln.
From Oklahoma. So it is volatile. Like we got a transfer. Transfers are the reason we were good last year, and then we have our linebacking. Our linebackers are going to be huge because of the transfer portal.
Lamar Spates.
Because yeah,
So let me ask you this: do you think that this is the way that recruiting is heading towards? Is it more getting like a mixture of portal guys and recruits, and that's going to be the kind of the way that recruiting is from now on?
So I think what's going to happen is you're going to go and get your recruits that
Yeah.
you want, and you're going to sprinkle. I think what they want, like what if it's an ideal world for these big schools, they want to get their young freshmen, the big recruiting class to come
Yeah.
in, and they want to sprinkle
A few main ready to
cogs that they
play.
need ready to go now at
Makes sense.
the position. Like, hey, you have a quarterback graduate and you have this true freshman coming in super talented.
Right.
We're going to bring in a
1
guy
year.
for 1 year
Yeah,
so that you
exactly.
can, learn
It's
it.
true free agency. It's literally free
Absolutely.
agency to be like, yeah, we need this guy that is the future for the next 3 or 4 years, but we need that one bridge year or something like that.
And
I believe-
that's what they've done in the defensive back room.
Right.
And that's what he's trying to fix. As Brian Kelly talked about the Rotary Club, where it's like it's kind of like the lighthearted meeting where it's like
Right.
there's no real actual questions unless you're Ed Orgeron, who turned it into like an actual like I'm going to make a statement here. And I was like,
Right.
we're just trying to have some fun. And he's like, I'm doing it my way. But Brian Kelly talked about it. He's like, I don't want to use the transfer portal as much as we have. It's his expression is like to top off the tank.
Right.
Like if we can find
That's-
one or two guys, then I'll do it. But I want to get back to being able to recruit.
Build a program.
Especially in
Right.
defensive, like in the defensive back room, that's what he's been having to go get. You saw it this year with Denver Harris, Deuce Chestnut, Zy Alexander. Like he goes and grabs all these guys. He's like, I'm trying to get away from that. But
Gotcha.
if there's a guy that LSU feels like they can take, then they'll do it. But they want to get back to recruiting and having 3 and 4 year guys.
Yeah.
And Jay said the same thing.
Yeah.
Basically the exact same thing is like, both those coaches have been really good in the portal, but they basically say the same thing. You can't build sustained success
Right.
in any sport without bringing in a good recruiting class and developing those guys. You're never going to hit on all your transfers. It's just not going to happen. It's
Exactly.
too hard to do.
Yep.
Right? And so what you do is you bring in these guys, you develop them, and you develop a culture, and you bring in these other guys that are veterans that are coming from other schools to just fit in.
It's like a supplement
right?
just on top. That's what it is,
100%.
yeah. 'Cause I was thinking that. I'm like, this is not sustainable recruiting. Like, you need to build a program. You need to have these foundations and depth and everything.
Right.
So, yeah, I was like,
And that's what Jay told me on the phone today. He was like, hey, I want these young guys to be able to start playing. Like, they've earned it. They've spent their
Sick
time.
name
They're very
drop.
talented. Huh?
Sick name drop.
I mean, we're friends. He comes on the show all the time.
Jay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, we talked about how he wants to we've talked about on air. Like, he wants to develop these guys. He's very high on the guys that he brought in last year, and they're very talented. And so he's trying to do the same thing. And I think Brian Kelly understands that exact same thing. You cannot build a program and have sustained success without having these young guys elevate and be the guys that you expect them to be.
Yeah.
I think eventually, unless the NCAA does something, which I think they've proven that they're not very good at doing anything good. You know, they don't do anything positive. They panic and do a bunch of stuff. They don't have a lot of poise. We've talked about poise earlier today on some other people that did not exemplify a lot of poise today.
Yeah.
They
Just go. Just go.
they don't have a good track record of like doing things that make a lot of sense, right?
Yeah.
So unless they come out here and say, okay, we're going to have some rules in place and we're going to try to regulate this, you're going to start seeing all these colleges, all these big schools hire general managers.
Yeah.
You're going to have GMs, and you're going to have a salary cap, or you're going to have, like, hey, we have this amount of money
It's
to
definitely
spend,
going to evolve, yep.
and you're going to have to do this, and you're going to that his job is to see what the free agent market is, see what the transfer portal market is, how much money can we allot to these guys, and boom.
I think it's going to be really interesting to see, like, what coaches, like, I was thinking about it from this perspective, like for Nolan, right? If he were to go to Louisiana Tech, like I was wondering, like, what would be the value of going there? And then I was thinking about it. I'm like, okay, and I kind of heard this from a couple of people around the country, and other schools do this, right? It's almost like a feeder school, like AAA for LSU, right? It's like you have a good enough player, you recruit them, maybe out of high school, you develop them, and you have this good development program, and then you know you're going to lose your freshmen and sophomores to LSU, but you're also going to get these guys from LSU that are probably on the cusp. They want playing time. They're going to be a superstar at La Tech. You know what I'm saying? It's like the AAA, and you go there, you ball out, you get to the next level. It's great.
You say the same concept. So my offensive coordinator in high school was Tim Leger.
Okay.
Tim Leger was the offensive coordinator at McNeese. He went from St. Thomas More to McNeese State, was the offensive coordinator there. Or maybe he was a quarterbacks coach and then got promoted to offensive coordinator. Then he left from there and he went to UL, quarterbacks coach, offensive coordinator at UL. He's still there. He called me the other day, and we were just talking, and he was basically said the exact same thing. He said, you know, our recruiting pitch right now is we've embraced the fact that we are going to get these recruits, and we're going to develop them, and they're probably going to leave if they become good enough.
Exactly.
But you know what? If you do it long enough and you do it well enough, some of these guys aren't going to leave.
Right.
And then some of the guys that are leaving LSU or some of these bigger schools are going to come to us because they see that we're developing these guys and we're getting these guys into the NFL, and they're going to be able to play. So he's like, I'm going to pitch to these guys, hey, you can go to LSU and play, or sit on the bench and play as a junior, or you can come here and play for 2 years and then go to LSU and play as a junior.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
get 2 years under your belt.
Exactly.
Right? And so he goes, you either embrace that or you try to fight it, and you're going to lose that fight.
Yeah, and that's where I was like, actually, when everybody was like, oh, it's going to create this like crazy power for all the schools, I was like, maybe not, because if you can find mid-major schools that can do it right, that are right in the same area, geographically right, recruit from the same pool, if you don't get, you might not get every 5-star or every top recruit, right? But you're going to get a few of those guys that you can convince like that are like, all right, cool, I like this spot. I'm from here. My mom went there. I have family here, whatever, right? There's a ton of reasoning that you can leverage there where I was like, oh, okay, that would be and if you do that well, that's a really good program. You know what I'm saying? You can get a lot of guys to the next level. You'll probably win conference championships a lot, you know, that kind of stuff. So
100%.
Yeah, it makes sense.
100%.
It's interesting.
It's like self-actualization. Like you have to realize what your program actually is. You can't try to contend. And
Self-awareness, dude.
Yeah.
Self-awareness is the biggest thing that you can have as a person, as a team, as whatever, right? If you understand where you are and who you are, then you understand where you can go.
It's just innovation too, right? Like 100%. Things are going to change, rules change, right? When the one and done thing came for college basketball, right? Yeah, the Dukes and everything, they got the best recruits for a year, but then they figured out, oh, we do have to have a system where eventually we'll have some good seniors for leadership to like have for the young kids coming in, all that stuff, right? So everything changes, and you just got to innovate with it and roll with it.
No doubt, no doubt. This weekend was a
Dude
huge
just ran out of
recruiting.
Plumleys.
It's crazy. It's been fucking like three decades. Yeah, exactly. Plumlee's rolling through.
What was I
Sorry.
about to say? No, you're good. You're good because you got Plumlee's. Now I was thinking about Drake May at North Carolina. His brothers were legacies there. They all played basketball there.
Yeah.
Right, and so now that's why he didn't transfer. That's actually a perfect example.
Yep.
Drake May's going to be a top 5, maybe the number 1 overall pick in the draft. Probably not the overall because Caleb Williams, but top 5 pick in the draft next year, right? He had a great year last year at North Carolina. Everybody thought he is going to transfer out of North Carolina to Alabama, be the starting quarterback there, bring Alabama a national championship, get drafted top 5, go to the NFL. He said, no, I'm not. I'm staying at North Carolina. This is where I'm from. This is where my family is. This is where I'm staying. So perfect example.
And that's what we were talking about.
Perfect example. Like, and
even
not
if you
saying
sold that kid too and be like, hey, in 2 years you'll do this, it lines up perfect. Where you're the next quarterback at Alabama. That's what you're talking about. Is like some of them are gonna say, nah, I got a girl here, my family's here, I'm good. Like I'm like
right.
I like my situation.
I'm getting recognition anyway.
Exactly. I'm already there. What do I
got
to go there for and risk losing? You know, like maybe where I'm at.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking of recognition, this weekend LSU had an enormous recruiting weekend. Right? They had the Bayou Bash.
Is this football, basketball?
Is it the Bash or the Splash?
Splash.
Bayou Splash.
Not to be confused with the bar.
Okay, I mean, I don't think anybody was thinking about that, but you. I mean, that's
Never know.
you got.
Love is love.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
You're not wrong though.
You're not wrong about that. You want to go through? You're the recruiting. Y'all two are the recruiting guys on here. I know the guys.
Stewie is actually the recruiting guy.
Yeah, but you were there.
I heard
By osmosis.
Osmosis. I soaked in some information. The Duncanville in Texas is built. It has an absolute wagon of a team where they have two. Caden's a high
Caden
4-star. Caden Durham running back that is the only LSU offer of anybody in the running back position. They've only offered one cat because they have.
That's him.
Yes, he is a stud track guy. Also, his mom ran track at Oklahoma. That's his other offer that he's weighing is between Oklahoma, Texas A&M, and LSU. DeMarco Murray is his lead recruiter, so that's tough. But Frank has set his eyeballs on him, and he's like, "You're the only guy I'm recruiting." They have Harlan Berry in the next class, who will be the number 1 player in the country at running back, and he's from Louisiana. So you feel good with Frank Wilson on the staff and an LSU, like a Louisiana running back. So that's the next 2 guys that they're focused on. They both were at the Bayou Splash, and then the kicker is Colin Simmons.
Yeah.
He's not a kicker. He's an edge, but he's a 5-star.
he's a
He probably
monster.
could kick if he wanted to, but he is as good as I've ever seen in high school. At the position he's polished.
What position you said?
Defensive end.
So
all were on campus for the Bayou Splash.
right. And
what is Bayou?
The 2025
Pool party.
The 2025 number 1 overall recruit in that class, who's a quarterback, was also at.
Yeah, he just dropped on.
Just showed up.
Dropped
Hey,
in by.
As a party?
I'm gonna come hang out.
Yeah, it's LSU athletes. Why wouldn't you want to be? Everybody wants to be around LSU
No doubt.
athletes right
and
now.
that's the other thing, right?
That's
With
huge.
NIL, I don't think that there's a bigger brand in college sports than LSU.
100%.
Right? Like, you see the women's basketball team do what they did, right?
Yep.
And I think Kim Mulkey is a genius for the way she is marketing her players, right?
Yep.
She is allowing them to be them.
She really is.
Right? She's allowing
killing
them to – she's marketing them, their personalities, which I think is what women's basketball should do.
100%.
Right?
She's
and
got it
I'm
figured
not
out.
saying
Yep.
that they're not as good as men, but they are. It's a different style of game.
Yep.
So if you want to elevate that, you market their players and what they're good at and what they like, and make them personable and make them relatable and give them a personality. And that's what she's doing. I think that's what she's done a really good job of.
And to me, again, it's the branding, right? Like, hey, we realize Floje has a lot of eyes off of her outside of the court. We're not going to force her just to be a basketball player.
Right.
Hey, go watch our player off the court. Oh, and then you know what else she does? She hoops. Come to our games.
Yeah.
Everybody's there watching, and they're just like, oh, that's sick. Just because they love her as a fan. Same with Angel Reese and all that stuff.
And then
I'm
you're
like,
seeing
it's
all the
genius.
celebrities.
That's
look
what
into
I
it.
mean.
And here's the deal. She's treating these athletes in college like a professional, right? Hey, you have these responsibilities.
Yep.
If you can get these responsibilities done, you can perform on the court because your number 1 responsibility is to go to school, obviously be eligible.
Mm-hmm.
Your number 2 responsibility is to go out on the court and perform, right? And whatever you want to do behind that, as long as it's not hurting anything,
Exactly. As long
you
as you're
go
not
and you
getting
do
in
it. And as long as it's not affecting the number 1 and number 2 priorities, I have no problem with that. I think it's good for us. And she has blown that out of the water, right? Which I think is a huge thing. LSU basketball, women's basketball is going to be perennial championship team for a long, long time because of that, right? I think baseball does the exact same stuff. Now, obviously, LSU baseball is probably the best brand in college sport, in college baseball.
Yep.
But they just want it. Jay Johnson kind of does the same thing, is embracing that type of NIL culture, that type of, hey, be you.
Tommy White, go be you. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wear 13 chains, whatever you want to do. Just hit homers. That's it.
Facial hair.
You have the gymnastics. You have all of this stuff that's happening. Everybody's talking about it. ESPYs, all this stuff. Football's doing the same stuff. It's just, to me, it's the best brand in college sports as it relates to NIL.
100%.
And I don't think there's any
think about this. LSU has. When have you ever seen something like this, where the LSU has what is he, number 3 or 4 favorite in the Heisman, Jaden Daniels?
Yeah, number 2, I think.
Whatever, right? He's a superstar, and he is 5th, 6th, maybe 7th most popular athlete on campus.
Right.
You know, like most popular, recognizable, whatever, well-known, followers, however you want to gauge that now.
Now
that's fascinating.
Now you fast forward 3 months,
right,
and they're undefeated. He's going to skyrocket to the favorite athlete on campus because,
it's crazy how that could be. We could have another dude that's like.
And he's going to end up with 1 million Instagram followers, and he's going to be all over the place on commercials, which I think all of that is good for college sports.
Actually, I met him and his mom at the National. He was signing some autographs there, and I was at a private event with him. He's a freaking rock star too. Like, his mom's awesome. Like, I'm like, dude, LSU is just on brand right now with getting like the right superstars and just like the intangibles where you're just like, oh my god,
no doubt.
This is
shout out TK,
no doubt. And you saw shout out TK, Tommy Karam, and you watch. I brought all this up and to try to bring it back to the point of this conversation. You bring up Colin Simmons, right? You go look at his time here, and you look at all the attention. You look at the Instagram stuff, and Anthony. Defensive ends, edge rushers in college sports, college football, and this is before paying athletes was legal, the most expensive recruit that you can get. They're the hardest. Yeah. They're the hardest football recruit to be able to woo to your school, and if you have one that's like him, that's like Jadeveon Clowney. There's not very many that are like that. Right, and when you get them, you got to try to get them, and it's very hard. There's
that pressure on the quarterback is that powerful
absolutely.
In the game. Like
I would imagine it's quarterback and defensive end.
Yeah, wow. and it's
not
what
that,
makes them so hard to
gauge
is because they rarely look as this good.
Right.
Like where they're polished and act like you look like a pro. It's not like you're bigger, faster, stronger than everybody. He is like has a bag.
His skill set.
Yeah, he's actually good at defensive end. He's not just pushing people around. Like he's got. All of the intangibles you would want from a defensive end. So when you see it and you notice it, you're like, oh, he's a day one starter. Like once he gets on campus, he will play. It's like even Harold Perkins couldn't say that because they weren't really sure how to use him. But once you saw him on the field, it's like, okay, he's not coming off.
Yeah.
And then you saw the fuss of what happened when he did against Tennessee. Like, oh, we're still not sure how to use him. You get Simmons, you put him at defensive end, and you say go for 3 years, and you can go to the NFL and be a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
You can book it.
Well,
and he already committed?
No. That's what they're trying to get.
That's like the big ticket item, and like I think they did a really good job.
Okay. He was here for that splash.
He was here for the splash,
which is a huge get.
He went to Splash this weekend.
That was great.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
Love was well.
Do we know what the recruiting class is ranked right as of now?
I think 12th.
12th, but they have a bunch of other like. You don't really start getting the helium until the season really starts.
Well, that's what some people are concerned about the LSU recruiting class because they don't have they have a bunch of 4 and 5 stars still that haven't committed yet, but they're in on all of those guys.
But I like that.
Me too.
I like that
they have a good basis of the class that's fine. It's ranked 10 or 12.
Yeah, and like your big dogs haven't gotten here yet, and
right.
you're not competing with somebody who's already committed and trying to change their commitment. You're just competing with other teams with guys who haven't committed yet.
Yeah, you're not going to get everybody that you're in on right now, but if you can pull a Simmons, if you can pull a Cade, if you can get 2 or 3 of those guys in your class shoots. I'm not concerned with the rankings of the class because I like what they've done in terms of getting Louisiana in the bucket, get your guys. And then you can go from there, and if you can hit on 1 or 2 5 stars, 4 stars, then you'll be sitting pretty.
Yeah,
that's where I think.
So is that how that's how rankings go? Is because you're waiting for these big 4 and 5 stars to commit, so it's just kind of waiting, and then
it's like class changers.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you talked about LSU, the brand. That's what I think is the most impressive part of what LSU is. Finally, what LSU should be. Like every time you've seen LSU be successful, it's a flash in the pan. You're like, why isn't it like this all the time?
Yeah.
And now with Scott Woodward at the top, Brian Kelly at the top, Jay Johnson at the top, Kim Mulkey at the top, you're just like, oh, you look around and you go, this is exactly what LSU should be. It's an athletic school.
Yeah.
They don't come here to play school. Like,
Dude,
just embrace who you are. Athletics funds the state. So just be good at it.
Right.
And it feels like LSU's finally wrapped its arm
Well,
around
here's the
it.
deal: if you're good at that, right, and you're able to bring in all these funds, right, and you're able to make money because of sports, wouldn't that be good for everything in the school? Like, couldn't some of those funds just go to some of the academics and some of the new buildings that you're trying to do? Like, why is it one or the other? Why can't it be, hey, this is bringing in the most money, and let's just.
But it's a
Take some of
marketing thing too, right? Like kids want to go where their college experience is going to be fun, right? If your football team's number one in the country, I have a kid that works for me from Jackson, New Jersey, and he wanted to come here just because it was a dick measuring contest,
Right.
to be like my
Right.
school is the best,
Yeah,
right? He
absolutely.
can pound his chest and be like and it is. And that to me, and I think girls want to come here too to be like, yes, we're so good. I love going to the football games, right? Like it's all part of it.
100%.
That's our culture. So it's like I think LSU needs them, but I also commend LSU too and the athletic department because they invested in the NIL. You know this, like
early
they said, we're gonna be number one. We knew we had an opportunity here, and we're gonna learn. We're gonna invest. We're gonna bring these consultants in, and they've killed it.
And you know what I respect the most is that saying they say, oh, fake it till you make it, right? Fake it till you make it. Well, when they first started, nobody knew how to navigate through NIL when it first started.
Right, yeah.
Because it was just
Wild,
like,
wild
this is what
west,
we're
yeah.
doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Here we go.
We're trying
Everybody
to,
just
yeah.
figured
Send
out.
Olivia Dunn to New York. I
Yeah,
don't
we
know
don't
what
know
this
what
does, but
But what
Yeah,
else?
she's
What are we
representing
doing for it?
LSU.
Yeah.
Exactly, but that's what made them number one.
Yep.
Is they said, you know what? Okay, we're gonna take this and we're gonna run with it and we're gonna be number one. It may not work first, but we're gonna
Right.
make sure that we are in the media and in the news and we're pushing NIL. And behind the scenes, it may not be as clean as we want it to be right now, but it looks that way. And we're gonna work our ass off behind the scenes to make sure it is. And you look now, two and a half years after it started, they are number one at what they do, and I think it's all paid off. And I think you're right.
And kids know that they can go to LSU and at least they're trying, like no matter what. Like it might not be perfect, but even now it's getting there. It is pretty good. But like that's the thing is like they knew that LSU was going to have their back and like try to take care of their athletes, and that was where I think they did something that's going to set them up forever. In that sense.
No doubt.
And don't be surprised whenever the other foot drops and LSU becomes the most, you will be the villain.
Oh, we already are.
I think we are
Yeah,
already. I think we're starting to become the villain. Yeah.
I think so too.
In every sport but football right now.
But I like that.
Yeah, me too.
I love that.
Yeah, me too. Like every post that I post on TikTok that does well, like it's just there's a bunch of people that are just like, yeah, you just buy your players, transfer portal. You're a transfer school. I'm like,
Everybody is.
we had 6 national championships before there was ever a transfer portal. Like,
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, like relax.
Easy. And honestly,
Like,
the only guys, we had our best player on the team was a transfer. Arguably,
yeah,
best player on the team was a transfer guy. Okay, fine, from Air Force. Right, he came to LSU. He could have gone anywhere else. Came to LSU. Right. It wasn't like we went and poached him from somewhere else. He had a decision. He made a decision to come here. Tommy White had a decision to come here. Why? Because we gave him an opportunity to play third base. You didn't need to give it to him. Hey, show me that you're good enough. And if you're good enough, we'll put you there. And he got it.
Yep.
Outside of that, everybody else is homegrown, right? All the other guys that really, did a lot of good stuff for LSU baseball this year was homegrown. Dylan Cruz, homegrown. Ty Floyd, homegrown. Grant Taylor didn't get to pitch last year, but they're all developed and recruited by LSU. So miss me with the whole, you had to buy your players. That's just
that's
a hate. That's a
ridiculous.
hater. That's a loser.
That's what it
mentality.
is. That's it. And it's just like LSU has done it better. We had the resources, we had the ability to do it, and they did it, and they invested into it. And like you said, there was things that they probably looked dumb at some points, and probably were nervous about. I know they were because I was
Right.
I was in with them trying to help random things, and they were just like, should we try this? We don't know, but we're gonna try.
Right.
And to me, like sometimes that's the stuff you got to do. So
You have a
Props.
plan. You set up a plan, and you set up a path to that plan. It's never going to be a straight line. You're going to have to zigzag. You're going to have to pivot. You're going to have to, get knocked down a couple times. But as long as you stay true to that plan, you're going to eventually get there. And that's what they did. And
Yep.
I commend them for that.
yep, that was great.
I know you don't like breaks. That is straight.
love
That's an hour.
breaks.
What's that?
I love breaks.
Should we take a little bit of a break?
Sure, let's see if it works.
What?
It's a good test case. I don't
Okay.
know. Yeah.
All right, let's take a 30-second break before we go on break. I want to give a shout out to our one of our OG sponsors, our friends right here, Heineken Silver. Heineken, listen, if haven't been watching TV
There's a
lately,
fridge here too.
I can't imagine I can't imagine what the Heineken Silver commercials are going to be like during football season because they're already they're pumping the advertising of the Heineken Silver. Heineken Silver is
They have YouTube
Heineken's
ads now.
Was that?
They have YouTube ads.
They have YouTube ads. Hopefully, we start getting them put on our shows.
That seems like it would be the right thing.
That
to do.
seems like that would be a seamless transition there, right? Heineken Silver is Heineken's version of their light beers. 95 calories, 4% alcohol. Lloyd has grown very fond of Heineken Silver. Lloyd's friends have become very fond. They drink it on the golf course now. I enjoy it. It definitely needs to be in your tailgate rotation in the ice chest, ice down. Definitely a lot better when it's chilled. Nobody likes a hot beer, but
I tried both.
Yeah, you've tried both.
Sometimes
it's
in
definitely
desperate
better
times,
when it's chilled. But Heineken Silver is a very, very good product. It is very crisp. It is very refreshing. If you haven't tried it, you should try it. And I just want to give a shout out because they have been an OG partner of ours since the beginning, and they've created a great product. So give it a shot.
Sponsored a trip to Omaha.
They did sponsor our trip to Omaha. Well, sponsored the drinking part of the trip to Omaha.
It's important, though.
That's important.
All right, we're going to take a 30-second break. We'll be right back. You're watching Mik'd Up. Dozy Place is located on 3723 Government Street. Everybody knows about their world-famous steaks and their hot tamales, but what you may not know is that they're open for lunch every day from 11 to 2. Great people, great environment. Their lunch menu is fire. What's the best thing on the menu?
If you haven't tried it yet, you need to try the burger. Unbelievable. Best burger in town.
Best burger in town. If you're looking for lunch, 11 to 2 at Dozy Place. Again, they're located on 3723 Government Street. Give them a shot. Those are your Heineken headlines. Heineken has been an unbelievable sponsor for us, right? I understand some people may not like Heineken, and that's okay. Tell me that. Good shot. Heineken just came out with the Heineken Silver. And if you have not liked Heineken in the past, that's okay. Heineken Silver doesn't taste anything like the other Heineken beers. Heineken is their light beer. It is 95 calories. It is 4% alcohol. It tastes very good. It's very crisp. Sit back, relax, open up a Heineken Silver. Enjoy baseball season coming up. Enjoy the LSU Tigers. Enjoy some women's basketball. If you're watching it at home, pop open a Heineken Silver. Because I'll tell you this, and look, Heineken's a sponsor of us, and I am very happy and honored that they are a sponsor. I did not really enjoy Heineken in my previous times drinking Heineken. I have learned to like it a little bit. Some people like it. Tell you what, I drank this Heineken Silver, and I enjoyed it. I got a couple cases delivered to my house today, actually, and I'm enjoying it. So go ahead, go try a Heineken Silver. It's their new product. It's their new beer. It's their new line. It is very light, 95 calories, 4% alcohol. Tastes really good. Try it. Thanks, Jack. That was nice. We didn't even practice that. First time. All right. Before we go into our break, I want to give a shout out to, like I said, we talk about us getting new partners, new sponsorships all the time. We have a new sponsor, and you've probably seen them on the top left corner in the little spinner logo. FCO Solutions. Our friends on at FCO. They're out of Lafayette. They're a civil construction company. They specialize in new multi-family construction, right? If you don't know what civil construction is, it's okay. Probably a lot of people don't understand it. They basically get the land ready to be built vertically, right? I'm giving you a little bit of a construction lesson here. I don't know much about it. I've learned it. I've learned it on the go, right? They specialize in site drainage, site utilities, earthworks, site cleaning, house pads, ponds, demo work, and hurricane cleanup. So they do anything that involves dirt, basically, or the earth. And a lot of that gets done before, it has to be done before you are building whatever development you are trying to build. So our friends at FCO have been fans of the show. They are really, really good people. They are down there in Lafayette. If you know anybody from Lafayette, you do know me. Mitch is from New Iberia. I'll consider that Lafayette's 337 area code.
There you go.
337 area code. They are unbelievable people. They do a very, very, very good job, and they are committed to growing and being the best at what they do. So I just want to give a shout out to our friends at FCO. I know that they listen. Appreciate you guys. We are going to be great partnerships. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. That was 3 countdowns right there. 3, 2, 1. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Okay, our first show here, I think it's been going well. We have.
Oh, that's just such.
What?
I always get nervous. You know, new
Oh,
setup,
I thought you were like kind of me about what I just said.
No, but there's sometimes these things go right.
Lloyd tells me every reason why we can't do something, as opposed to saying why we can do something, and he just puts negative energy out here.
Yeah, but you and me are very similar. We need people like that. That's good.
Because I'm always thinking every reason
me too. I'm a dreamer. I'm like, yeah. I need somebody to be like, hey, you didn't think about this, did you? Nope.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
That's fine.
don't worry,
It'll
it'll be
work.
fine.
Why can't it work? It'll work.
Figure it out.
Don't tell me no. Tell me how we can make it work.
Right.
Give me the reason how we can make it work.
But that's what it's so far so good. This is a seamless transition.
This is great. And it's only going to get better. We're going to get comfortable. We're going to get comfortable with each other. More comfortable with the show. More comfortable with the space. We're going to add different decorations. Jared's going to be back on Friday, which is going to be big.
This Friday he's going to be here.
He's back, yeah.
Everybody, if you guys are listening to this, you guys are in Baton Rouge. I'm going to open up the shop. Move some of this stuff up. The purple couch here. I'm going to get some drinks from Dakota's next door. So if you guys want to do it, it'll be like a little early happy hour.
Let's go.
It'll be a lot of fun.
That's what we tried to do initially with our show early on. This is a better happy hour period.
We'll open up the doors. Hopefully it's not too hot, but we'll have the doors open. If it gets too hot, we'll close it. So.
Category 5 hurricane.
Yeah, hopefully that doesn't
30
happen.
seconds.
It was crazy. We had the palm tree leaves just smacking against the window.
I'm waiting for them to go through the awning eventually. Those things are heavy too. Those palm leaves, those things that fall. Yeah.
I wanted it to hit my car.
Get it on the shirt.
You just got your car.
I know, but I had that little. Talk about panic.
Yeah, that was a bad toys move by the way.
I feel like
So he gets his car, right? And we're at our old studio, and there's this like yellow pole.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
Like
yeah,
the cargo
yeah,
pole.
yeah.
And so he backed in, right? He didn't back. Yeah, he did.
I was
back.
backing
No.
out while you were pulling.
He pulled in forward, so he was backing out while I was pulling in. And I saw him, and so I was going to just back in, like a normal person, just let you back in. But he panicked and overcorrected his thing and backed up, and he ripped the bumper off of the pole, and he got stuck and panicked, didn't know what to do, and now he's got the retainer still on.
No, I changed it. I got flexi. So I'll just slap that on there.
Oh, did it work?
It's doing okay.
Billy Mays.
Yeah.
Billy Mays. Yeah, recipe. Billy Mays sold me something I never used it. You put a whole boat.
Flexi. I feel like it is information, but definitely sold.
Have you ever bought anything off TV?
I don't think so. It's amazing.
I've
amazing
never,
how
but
they got
I've
so many-
thought about it many of times.
But I've never done it.
And
Yeah.
I've almost wanted to do it just for the experience of how this works.
Be like, yeah, and also being like, yeah, got me. I'm interested now.
And then hopefully it works. Well, there's actually, I'll tell you, I almost did it the other day. There's the blue, like, pots and pans that you cook on. And I was like, damn, these
Oh, the no stick ones or whatever.
are no stick, and it was like special, like, whatever. And I'm like, damn,
Kinda
do I
wanna.
want to do this? Like, I kind of need new pots and pans, but like, I probably can use this money for something else.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I don't
yeah.
need to do this.
Yeah, but you could have got 3. But wait, there's more.
Wait,
Yeah.
there's more.
You coulda
This
got
is
4.
a strainer that you don't have to just put on top. I'm like, okay, I can do that with a normal strainer. I need that one. You know what I mean? Stainless steel strainer.
Yeah.
I don't need that.
There's just enough things that you can add on to sell me, but then there's too much where you're like, all right, now,
Okay, you've
now,
done too
now, you know
much.
what? Actually, I don't want that strainer.
Yeah, now you've added enough to where it makes me think it's not a good product.
Exactly. Now I'm like, no, I don't want it.
Yeah. You sold me and you oversold me, and I was
Yeah, now
you
Well, I
lost
love
your
when they
shit.
just cut the. It's like, well, now you can get 10 of them for half the price.
That's what I'm
Or
saying.
It was
do
like-
price installment. Like you can pay $5.
So you're just trying to get rid of
a
these
week.
Exactly.
And it's like, well, this seems super affordable now.
Yeah.
Like now you kind of have me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the old. Have you seen the South Park with the QVC where they like just bury everybody that works for QVC for preying on old people? Because that's the only people that do it.
That's exactly who
Is
it's made for, yeah.
QVC still on TV?
Oh yeah, I think it still kills it
I
too.
mean, they crush.
I think she does stupid numbers. Lori, like her thing. That's just
Wow.
crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but
But people are
Good
still
for her.
getting old, and they sit
for
at home,
her.
I guess, and they're watching TV, and they call, and they're like, "Yeah, you know what? Who needs that? My granddaughter."
yeah,
You know,
it
maybe.
never makes it to them.
I have
Well,
20
what happens
bucks.
whenever like that generation is?
Well, no. Well, you're a
Expires.
part of the new generation that it's not going to be QVC. It's going to be Instagram.
Yeah,
Where
it'll be
you
TikTok.
buy things.
It'll
Well,
be-
I've done that.
it'll be
I
TikTok.
have done that.
It'll be TikTok or Instagram, yeah, for us. Like
Where you're
we're
like-
sitting at home.
It's
And
so much easier than
Yeah,
picking
I
up the
just-
phone
Right.
and calling. You're just like, it's
Our
like buy it
grandkids
now.
will,
Like,
our
okay.
grandkids will be like pressing things
I'm
in their
scared.
glasses and stuff, and like
Yeah, I'm
like
scared.
voice, ordering stuff, and we'll be like, no, let's just order it off TikTok and Instagram. Like back in the day, it's way easier. That was
The AI stuff scares me a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
What's going on with the alien? Oh, no, this is a sports show. We're getting
No,
spacey
I
here,
like
but
this.
the
Oh,
aliens
yeah.
are going. The aliens. Are you guys,
Listen.
Well,
is that real?
Yeah, Mason
what?
Smith.
Listen. They.
I'm convinced.
I am too. I think there's.
I'm open to it, I should say.
There is a Netflix
I think they are.
documentary that they came out and it said it's called Cosmic Time Machine. It's like unknown. Like they have like this series of like unknown. It's called Unknown. And this one's Cosmic Time Machine. Basically talks about this telescope that they built. You know how they did the Hubble telescope they had a long time ago?
Mm-hmm.
They built a new one and they launched it up in 2021. And like it is the biggest telescope ever created. All these mirrors, and they have like all these different fail safes that they had these different points, fail points like that they had to get through. And they lift it up into space, and then like one day after, the one thing happens, and another day, and it all is going well. And then 35 days after, it's like 100 million miles past Earth, and it can see galaxies and galaxies and galaxies that nobody could ever see. And now we're getting all these pictures, and it's like you're seeing all these different galaxies, and you're seeing what kind of oxygen we're seeing what kind of like what's on the. It's like, whoa.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
There's a lot of things out there that are blowing my mind that I've never. I mean, again, I don't
Have
know
you
what's
seen the
real.
new Planet Earth that is like CGI'd?
No, where's that?
It's on Apple TV Plus.
What is
And
that?
they still have David Attenborough.
Yeah, that's
Dude, how does that guy keep getting every one of these documentaries?
No, because he's the best.
His voice is gold. Yeah, his way.
I don't watch any other planet documentaries unless he's.
I need
I'm not gonna
Attenborough.
watch it because I'm waiting for him to. First of all, he shames the shit out of you. Like he's like, oh, if only you took care of the planet, they would. He's like, fuck, dude, it's not my fault.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that this is happening.
I recycle.
I put my stuff in recycling. Come on.
Jesus.
I compost.
Don't take a private jet. Well, I guess I do.
When we talked about what we were going to talk about on the other side of this break, this is not how I love this. This is great. This is what makes it so great. You never know what you're going to get.
I love that.
But this new Planet Earth it's all CGI and it's about dinosaurs and like how they're actually.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
Oh,
It's crazy.
See it. Yeah,
I did see that.
Watched it last night.
I did not watch it, but
I'm gonna watch it. The telescope thing is interesting to me because I don't know.
The space and stuff like trips me out.
Yeah, but somebody told me today that the aliens gave us a warning that our planet's in danger. Is that the most?
They're coming to help.
Yeah, that's what I think. That was the latest report today.
Then you hear, are they coming from the ocean? Right. Then people are saying they're coming from the ocean.
You think they're nice?
Dude?
Like they're
That's
like,
an
hey,
alien.
you want your planet to survive? There's some things going on. You guys are clean up.
Well, the crazy thing is,
yeah,
space is nuts.
It's hot as fuck.
Yeah.
Space is nuts, but
affect us all.
the ocean's nuts too.
Yeah.
Like there's so much of the ocean, and it has not been. Like it's okay.
Yeah.
We're getting.
All right.
No.
We're getting
This is a sports show, right?
back to the schedule program.
Yeah.
Would you rather Andy Dalton or Derek Carr?
Which
Up next,
athletes are
Undisputed.
aliens? That was really the conversation today.
What do you think? What's your opinion on all this NFL? One, the running back position is they're in a pickle. They're in a bad spot.
For
right?
LSU, we got
No. In the NFL. So every other position group, the market value of that position group has increased.
Yeah.
Right? Through the course of the last, say, since 2009. Let's say 2009. Has increased. Well, has increased. And except salary caps have increased, money coming in has increased. The only position that has not increased, that has gone down, is running back positions. They've gone down by an average of $1 million, right? Which is crazy. And now they're saying, well, the running backs are, they shouldn't be valued as high because they're kind of disposable. That's a bad way to say it, but that's kind of how they're getting treated, right? And Jim Irsay, who's outside of Jerry Jones, I think is probably the most vocal owner in the NFL, right? Like when you hear about owners, you hear Jerry Jones and you hear Jim Irsay. They're saying something crazy. Jerry Jones' interview the other day was awesome, by the way. If you didn't hear it about how
I don't want to circumcise the mosquito.
About Dak getting paid, but then having to have to pay. He's like, I got to pay Parsons. He's gonna need his money. Like, but the way he said it and how he said it was like very Jerry Jones-esque, but like pretty awesome. It was like pretty like.
He still got it.
I understand what's happening in the times, but I also like here's how the money works. Whatever. So he goes about it. But Jim Irsay comes out and says the players' union and the owners discussed all of these issues in the last CBA. Collective, CBA. I was making sure I was like, this was right.
BAC.
Yeah, in the last CBA, right? So to come out and say that you're not going to play on a contract that you already signed and be upset because of what's happened, because of what you agreed to, is irresponsible, is what he said, right? Well, Jonathan Taylor did not like that because Jonathan Taylor has probably been a top 3 running back in the league for the last 4 years,
And
or whatever. Was that?
They used the shit out of him.
And they use him very well. He's basically their entire offense. Well, then Jim Irsay says, then Jonathan Taylor says, I want to trade. And Jim Irsay says, under no circumstances are we trading you.
Right.
And then they put him on, there's an injury report comes out and said that Jonathan Taylor said that he's complaining about back pain. So they're thinking about putting him on physically unable to perform list. And Jonathan Taylor then comes out and says, I never said I had back pain. That's a lie. Your sources are wrong. And then, so there's a lot of stuff going on. But the running back position as a whole is in a bad spot.
What do you think? All right, so I kind of heard this, and it makes sense when I thought about it. Is it because the position of quarterback is becoming more dynamic and you're having guys be able to run the ball, be more mobile versus being a pocket passer?
I think that's a little bit of it, but I also think that
You have
if
to
you
find a way to spend your money wisely, and they know that they
well,
can
for sure, but they think that
find
they
value in that position without having to pay for it.
Right.
that historically and traditionally you can find running backs in later rounds and not pay them and they'll still be as effective for you. Like there's more talent at the running back position deeper in the drafts than probably any other position, right? So we went through this on one of the shows a few weeks ago. If you go look at from 2009 until 2023, the highest paid running back on any of those Super Bowl teams was $2.5 million.
What?
And there's only 3 running backs over the $1 million mark. Crazy, huh?
So that's the winning model. Is like.
So that's the thing. Hey,
you're
we
saying,
don't
like,
need you don't need
overpay.
the lead running back, the
Yeah.
high paid running back to win the Super Bowl.
Wow.
You need a quarterback, and you need other things,
Playmakers
right?
and
I'm not saying running backs aren't valuable on a team because I think they are.
Right.
But I think now you're starting to see the Alvin Kamaras, you're starting to see the Bijan Robinsons from Texas. You're going to have to be able to split them out and be able to run. There have to be an extension of their wide receiver position, but
That's what I was
also
gonna
be able
say.
to go back into the running back spot.
Got you.
So I mean, that's to me then like
John-
Deebo Samuel,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
he can get paid as a running back or as a wide receiver, and that was his big argument. It was like, well, you're using me in all these different. I'm a wide receiver, but now you're putting me as a running back.
And you're trying to profile
you're trying
me
to-
into this, so that way you don't
Exactly.
have to pay me and everything.
And
But
so he's kind of getting the short end of the stick because he's a wide receiver playing
that's
a lot of
right.
running back.
Yeah, exactly. And
Right, so they're
almost
not
using that
paying him,
against
and they're
him.
wear and tear.
Well, he
But
literally
those-
came out and says, like, if y'all are going to pay me like this, I won't play running back anymore then.
Right.
Right.
Like, I'll just decide that I'm not doing that. And
Right.
that's where it becomes like, well,
Well,
okay, we do need your value. Like, that's my value. If
Yeah.
you don't want to pay me for that, then I won't do it.
Right.
And the same thing with Jonathan Taylor. He's still on his rookie deal.
Right.
And he's trying to sit out his last year of his rookie deal because he knows he can see what's happening in front of him. He's like, well, I'm not. You'll have
Well-
to sign me at some point. Somebody's going to sign
And
me.
that's that's the other thing, right? And like if you look at it on the other, I'm a player. I'm on the player side. I think that they, especially in a running back in the NFL, if you want the extension, get the extension before you go into a free agency because you just never know. One play and your career could be ended.
Yeah.
But on the owner side and the fan side, well, hey, you signed. This is your rookie deal. You're still under contract under your rookie deal. Play the contract that honor the contract that you signed.
You had to sign it. You don't have
Right?
a choice.
Right. Now, here's the deal, right? He was a first rounder, wasn't he? Mm-hmm. And so all first round contracts as a rookie are guaranteed. So that's unlike other NFL contracts where if you sign a 5-year deal, not all 5 years is guaranteed. Like the only thing that's guaranteed in those deals are your guaranteed money. And then once that runs out, the team can just get rid of you and not have to pay you that money that you were owed. As a rookie, you're guaranteed that. So at least he's guaranteed that last year of his salary. But he understands, man, if I don't play or if I do play and I get hurt and I go into free agency, I'm done.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody's going to pay me anything. And so that's why you see a lot of these players get their extensions before their last year's up. That's what Joe Burrow is going through that. Everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know. Running back position's in a pickle.
Do it. Yeah, that's stinky.
It's in a
And
tough
it's like
spot.
the one where it's like the catcher position. You just wear and tear it, but like they respect the catcher
Yep,
position in baseball.
absolutely.
Those guys get paid.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a tough spot.
That sucks.
You know, I don't know what's going to happen. But Jim Irsay is not shy about telling anybody how he feels.
To me,
He man's an alien. Speaking of aliens,
that's it. Yeah.
they said, they're talking about the interview that you were talking about. I heard that he does like these Twitter giveaways, and he was at the camp,
Is it Irsay you're talking about?
Yeah, and somebody shouted him out, was like, "I never win your Twitter giveaway." He sent an envelope to him with $2,000 in it and just walked away.
What?
And I was like, "That's the fucking coolest thing ever." Like,
That's cool.
billionaire.
So he's,
like, here you go.
I mean, what
Exactly.
a,
I'm
I
not
mean,
going
what
to pay
a,
Jonathan Taylor, but
what a
here.
move. What a
Let's
move
give
to
away
keep the
2,000.
fans on your side there.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man of the people.
We may not have Jonathan Taylor, but look at all this money I
Yeah,
just gave you.
yeah. But
I mean?
okay, so this is what I was gonna say. My point right before he said that was, it's fascinating to me to see how social media in general, is such a big player in negotiations now. And to me, I'm
no
like,
doubt.
half the shit I don't believe anymore, because I'm like, the owner's saying that just to kill the value or whatever, to get the perception this way, to
Public
get
opinion.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, dude, it's so amazing how much that actually matters. Like, even the way teams paint players, like, hey, we know that we have contract negotiations coming up this year. We're gonna say this. We're gonna say this. I'm like, it's amazing.
And the crazy thing about it is, like, it shouldn't matter because the fans don't make those decisions, and like the other owners see it and they go through it. But like when you start going at someone's character or saying something because the owners of the other teams can't really see that.
Right.
They're going to see what's on the field. And that's bullshit, I think.
I
right?
do too. I
agree. And that's everything. That's not even just elections. That's like
exactly.
everything that's happening now.
Stock market,
everything.
Like that.
Everything.
That's so amazing.
You have fake stocks just doing this and making
Yeah.
a bunch of money doing it. Dogecoin.
Yep.
Dogecoin.
Just because there's attention, media. That's why I'm like, it's so, like, when we're talking about these negotiations and Irsay saying this or whatever, it's like, I'm like, how much of it is hyperbole? And most of it probably is, right? Like, but it's all
crazy.
part of the job and the negotiation tactics.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
It's because of Twitter.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I kind of learned this. I kind of learned this even from
X.
Yeah,
X.
That's crazy. But
X.
I think I learned this even from Scott Boras back in the
X
day. Where in
videos?
2010. Those are 3X.
Yeah.
But like, even when in 2009, 2010, whenever I was going through the draft stuff, he was like, "Oh, we're painting a picture." Like, he's like, "You got to say this, you got to do this." He's like, "You're going to be in Boston doing what we were talking about, right?" I pitched 30 innings in the Cape right before I signed with Boston. He's like, "You're going to put pressure on them. The fans are going to be like, hey, he's right in our backyard. We love him. Like, and you're going to do as many local article news. You know what I'm saying?" He's like, you're going to paint this picture that you're this all-American. Yeah. He's like, you're going to be this all-American kid that the fans need to sign, and he's going to put pressure on Theo to
From
sign
that
you.
part of the country, yeah.
Exactly. And I was like, man, that's genius. But like, that was kind of the first taste to me to be like, oh wow, like we're just painting a picture.
Yeah.
Like, that's all we're doing.
No doubt. We're
Structure a
shaping
narrative.
Yeah, but it helps in negotiations, right? Like, it's crazy. So
X and social media is gonna be popping in week 5 whenever Denver plays the Jets, right? Because everything that just happened with Sean. Like, Sean Payton's not afraid either.
Yeah, no.
Sean Payton's great on Twitter. He goes at people. He's very witty and he's
Does
very
he really?
funny.
Oh, I gotta tune into that.
He's like, he is. It's not all the time, but like he'll respond. He's not gonna let stuff just slide by without him saying something, especially if like he believes in like
if
the
he
opposite.
believes something, yeah.
Right? And I loved it when he was in New Orleans. And I'm probably going to love it when he's in Denver because the Saints aren't going to play him that much. Aaron Rodgers has not liked. Now, what Sean did this year with talk about Nathaniel Hackett, I felt like that's probably not necessary. Like, probably went above and beyond saying those kinds of things. But I think what he was trying to do, and talking about painting a picture, I think what he was trying to do was he was trying to paint a picture to the Denver fans that, hey, we're very good. The reason why we were not good last year is because of the guy that was leading the charge, right? He had all this talent, and what he did was not good. And I think he was doing it more for Denver.
I think
but
so,
like
yeah.
when you do it in the media, obviously
people run with it. They know clicks and
no doubt, right? And so like now Nathaniel Hackett's catching stray bullets as an offensive coordinator in New York, and then Robert Salah. It's not Salah, it's Salah, I think, right? Isn't
Salad.
It's Salah. Comes out and he basically says, he barks back at him, and then Aaron Rodgers comes back out, and which I think is good for the Jets because you have your Aaron Rodgers who just has now you're gonna have him for 2 years, right? He's already signed his 2-year guarantee. He's gonna be in New York for 2 years. He comes out and he says, "Keep my coach's name out your mouth." Right now, Nathaniel Hackett and Aaron Rodgers obviously are tight because they're in Green Bay together. So they are boys. He's protecting him. But I think this is twofold. I think Denver is going to be good, right, because I think Sean's a Hall of Fame coach. And I think the Jets are going to be really good, and I think this is bringing the Jets even closer together, right? I think it's bringing them, hey, we're fighting for each other now. And I think Aaron's happy there. Like
Yeah,
I
he's
think
carte blanche of the franchise. He might as
for
well
sure,
be an owner.
but I think he enjoys these young guys, and these young guys are buying into him, and he's looking. He's like, damn, I haven't had this much talent at the wide receiver position in a long time. He's got 2 superstar wide receivers already that are young. Plus he brings in Alan Lazard. Plus he brings in Randall Cobb just for shits and giggles because that's
he
his
gets
boy,
his guys.
right? And then you have Breece Hall, who is probably going to win the Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year before he got hurt. You have Michael Carter, who's really good. And then you have Sauce Gardner on the other side. Like,
Garrett Wilson.
well, that's to say. You have Garrett Wilson, and you have who's the other wide receiver on the other end of Garrett Wilson? You have 2 of them. Isn't there 2? There's 2 superstar wide receivers over there. I thought.
Where?
No.
Corey Davis is no superstar. He
I could be wrong. Maybe it's just Garrett
He got
Wilson.
indoctored in the coach of in the church of PJ Fleck. Did you see all that?
No.
PJ Fleck, where they released an article he's running a cult at, where is he, at Minnesota? Like, they have a whole, not even a playbook, it's a whole 3-ring binder of all the phrases you have to learn, like row the boat and what they mean and all this stuff. And people are like, yeah, dude, it's fucking weird here. And, and PJ Fleck's like, it's not that bad. Like, yeah, it's not bad. Like, it's not like what's going on at Northwestern where, like, people are actually getting hazed and hurt.
Right,
it's
right,
just
right.
like, it's just weird here. And so that whole thing came out with PJ Fleck making you memorize, like, basically definitions of how he wants the program to be. And, like, if you say certain things, if you get, he has Fleck bucks. Like Dwight Schrute, like had a Schrute buck.
Yeah.
If you go to church with him, or if you go to do charity events with PJ Fleck, you can cash in your Fleck bucks.
What is that? What does that get you?
If you like fail a drug test, you can exchange your Fleck bucks.
No way. You just made that up.
No.
What?
Yeah.
If you fail a drug test and you do good enough good stuff, you can say, "Hey, I
got
I've built up good deeds.
I have 10 Fleck bucks. Oh, I'm good, boys.
Yeah, that's good fucking.
Good. It's
Yeah,
gonna
let's
be a
go
good
get lit,
season.
yeah.
It's gonna be a good season.
Be high every
now.
night.
Wow.
What?
So that, I mean, it's not. He's not going to lose his job over it. It's just super bizarre.
That is bizarre.
PJ Fleck is a wild person because he's big on.
Remember when he-
wears
everybody-
the suits on the sidelines? I thought he was a good coach.
Everybody was so high on him.
I thought he was going to come to LSU. That's what I never.
I was
after
so happy he didn't come down. I
I
did
me
not
too.
want him.
And where's he at? So where's he at?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. He was at Western Michigan where they won 10 games and he did the whole thing, won a bowl game.
How has Minnesota been when he's there?
They won 10 games once and they weren't very good last year.
Yeah.
So, but Corey Davis,
Fleck Bucks.
Fleck Bucks.
I'm trying to get some of those Fleck Bucks.
Trying to get some of these Fleck bucks.
Let's go.
That was the other guy they got, McCole Hardman. But I thought they had someone. Maybe not. It was just Garrett Wilson then. I thought they had 2 guys last year, but just Garrett Wilson. Okay.
And Brees Hall.
Well,
And Brees
their
Hall.
energy
And Zach
there is
Wilson.
good. Like that's what I
Energy's
mean. Like
great.
everything on social, but again,
Yeah.
social media is painting a picture, right? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
And I think
Aaron
Aaron.
Hard Knocks. It starts tonight or Wednesday.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh
Let's
yeah.
go.
I think Aaron Rodgers would be great for Zach Wilson too. To be honest with you.
I don't
Yeah.
think you can fix Zach Wilson.
I don't. I
You never know. People grow
I
up.
think.
Boys,
I think
boys
he's
grow
talented. I think it's up here.
Boys grow up. Boys grow up, right?
Absolutely.
That's it, so.
Figure
And I
it
think
out.
he wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't think he was ready.
Maybe the ayahuasca trips are going to help him.
Yeah, no
You
doubt.
can be like, we're going to go into darkness retreats,
No
buddy.
doubt.
Come on.
And
we
maybe
got
so.
you.
Enough
We're going to
of it.
figure out your demons and figure out why you're trying to hook up
I
with all
don't
these
think.
cougars.
I don't think Zach Wilson was. I don't think he was ready. I don't think he was ready.
No.
And I think this is good. This is a good reset for him.
Yeah, no, seriously, that's
No?
good. It takes pressure off him
Yeah,
too,
for
probably
sure.
for real. Like
100%.
Yeah, he's gonna learn from somebody.
100%. You may get a ring out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All right. Great first day here.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I'm being dead serious. Like, thank you guys for doing this and trusting us,
No,
or
dude.
like wanting to do it here because this is the kind of stuff for real that I think like when I started this is like how I envisioned it. Is like this is a great experience. Even those kids coming up, you know, Thomas comes in here all the time, and his boys, like I saw their eyes light up. Like that's the kind of stuff that we're doing here, and like we're creating a cool spot for that kids want to come, people want to watch,
Right.
fans want to watch. It's a good experience.
No,
so thank you guys. Yeah, thank you.
Because listen,
Absolutely.
we were put in a position where we had a lot of changes,
Yeah.
internal
Yeah,
changes
yeah.
going on, and we had a conversation,
Yeah.
and I didn't know if y'all are ready yet,
Yeah.
and it ended up working out perfectly,
No,
and
this is
now we
great.
get to grow this whole stuff together,
Yep.
which I'm pretty fired up about.
A lot of ideas.
A lot of ideas. Listen,
A lot of ideas.
all the stuff that we talk about, like stuff happening, is about to start
yeah,
happening.
it's
I
for real.
promise.
I think
Like, it
things are
ain't-
really starting to pop off too.
It ain't
like,
just
yeah.
a talk anymore.
No,
Like
it's for real.
it's happening. All right, before we go, we gotta go through the seggies. All right,
The
Our
seggies?
segments.
I
Our
like it.
seggies.
The seggies.
Our seggies. All right.
I forget that you've never you haven't.
Yeah, like
you've only been on
done
the
the
show
whole. Yeah, I've been
once.
like, yeah, I've done a segi.
Right.
I've come in and that was it, and then I've come out. Yeah.
All right. First segment's Mistake of the Day is brought to you by our friends at, I guess this is it. Yep. Our friends at different sides. Our friends at Dozy Place. Mistake of the Day. And mistake is MIS. Oh, it's on. Oh, we don't have. See, that's another thing. We need graphics. That's what we're getting.
We got a team
Steak,
now.
like the steak that you eat.
Yep.
Nice. I love that.
M-I-S-T-E-A-K.
Mistake of the Day is brought to you by our friends at Dozy Place. If you're looking for a great piece of meat, Doze is the place
Not
to
just
go.
a piece of meat.
Hunk of beef.
Hunk of beef. Doze is the place to go. If you're looking for a place to go get some lunch, have some business deals in the back bar. It's also a great place to be. Their burgers there are fire. Best burgers in Baton Rouge. As not an exaggeration.
Yeah, I've heard that.
It is rounded up steak trimmings. Like, how do you not like that? You know what I mean? It is.
I'm gonna
Actually,
try it
sent
this
somebody
week.
there Friday.
I'm gonna try it this week.
Yeah, I'll go
All
with
right,
you.
I'm putting it on. Should we go to lunch?
Oh,
there we go.
definitely.
We're gonna go to lunch.
We're gonna Dozy Place at lunch. Come meet us there. I don't know when. Just show up.
Just
You
show
gotta go
up.
every day this
Yes,
week.
there it
Every
is.
day.
You
You
might
gotta
see
go
it.
every day this week and just see.
You
if
never
we're
know
there.
when we're gonna be there, but we're gonna be there for lunch. We don't know what time. Lunch
we'll
could
be
be
there.
2:30. It could be 11. We don't know.
Never know. But we're gonna be there. All right, Lloyd. What's the mistake of the day?
I'm trying to find the picture. It was Michigan football. Obviously, Harbaugh is going through it at the moment where he has to sit out 4 games in their powder puff schedule.
It's
He
hard.
comes
It's
back
hard to
for
have
the-
recruiting violations in this day and age.
It is.
So that's being.
But those are old,
Probably wore his
old
football-
aspersions.
He wore his football cleats in the living room, probably upset at a recruit, and they
We
told on
also
him.
spent the night with with a kicker one year.
Well, okay, let's not paint a picture like that. Let's.
Yeah, love is love.
Love is love.
Let's. He spent the night where?
At the recruit's house.
In the guest room, on the couch.
I think they had like a little sleepover on the couch.
not our business.
That's cool. It's not our business. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, he
Whatever
got
it
him.
takes. You got him.
All right, that was excellent filibustering because I've now found the picture. Michigan was hosting their version of the Bayou Splash Party, and this is what they decided to serve recruits.
What would theirs be called? Not Bayou Splash. What would it be called?
The Wolverine
The
something.
Northern Landslide.
Yeah, the Great Lakes.
Wolver. The blue bash. Big
But-
blue bash.
Oh, y'all can't see it.
Big blue
anyway,
bash, maybe.
So they hosted their, they hosted their recruiting weekend, and the food that they served them was a cold hot dog, some tendies, and
What kind of tendies though? The frozen tendies.
those are definitely Tyson, like 1,000%.
And they weren't fully thawed. Like there was a little bit of the wet, like
Yeah.
This
the
is-
cold, like it wasn't cooked.
Yeah.
This is the if you've ever been to the stadium club for like a LSU non-conference game and like third quarter, this is what you get. You're like, I guess I'll eat this. Like I'm hammered.
I
Can't
think,
be terrible.
I think that's
like I wouldn't hate this meal.
I think the
but
third quarter Western Michigan game at Tiger Stadium is better food than that.
This is tough. The mac and cheese looks all right. 1 cookie and a lemonade.
Big blue, not doing it.
No.
And
But
was this
when
was
you
this
have
picture taken by a recruit?
Yes.
And it was
Oh,
was he
no.
bragging on the food or was he making
no,
fun
he
of
was
the food?
blasting him.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I was making sure.
Like it literally just has university. Like he dropped the geo tag, like University of
Little pic,
Michigan.
yeah.
Yeah. And it got just everybody's like, this is what
This is what they're showing out for you.
5 stars.
Yeah.
Like so, LSU is doing it a little bit different. I would imagine that Todd Graves ain't pulling up with that. At least you got Canes, got sauce.
That's tough.
They tried to give him a
It's a tough
glizzy.
look.
Glizzy, huh?
Glizzy.
Not a good glizzy. Cold glizzy ain't
bad
it.
glizzy.
Cold glizzy ain't it.
Not it. That's a good one, Lloyd. That was good. That was a good, professional, not
Crazy.
too edgy or racy mistake of the day. That's good though.
Thank you.
I'll
try better
You
next
gotta
time.
build up. No, that's good. You just gotta build up to it.
Yes.
I respect that.
There we go.
All right.
Angel
All-
Hernandez is trending.
Oh
did he make a-
Lord.
I
What did
don't
he
know.
do?
I'm about to find out. Oh yeah,
What do you do? Bad call.
that terrible.
It's just awful.
Slide
like
into,
very bad?
Slide into second, got even touched the base, and he called him safe.
God, didn't even
Everybody-
touch it. Hey, the prerequisite for somebody being safe.
You have to touch it. The white thing, they made it actually bigger. They made it bigger for
They
you
made
to
it bigger
see.
this year.
And he still didn't
He didn't
touch it. And he's
but
still
he's
safe.
safe.
Came back.
He's in there. He's in there.
Keep doing you, Angel.
Angel. Just
How is
keeps
he
getting
still-
gigs.
How did he
he's
still
out
have a
there.
job?
He's
That's
out
a, that's
there.
a high-paying job.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
a hard job to get.
And he's been there for a while too. Like when you're there for 20-something years, right? I mean, you got to be making 300 grand, 400 grand
At
up there.
least.
Yeah.
Retirement.
10-year.
They have a
They get all
union?
those. Yeah, they get this. They get service time. And all
Yeah.
that stuff too. Like
Brutal.
Vested.
yeah.
Brutal. All right. On a better note, not Angel Hernandez, our curtain calls. brought to you by our friends down at Assured Partners. For all your insurance needs, give us a call.
You want to take yours?
You go first. I'm gonna take. I'll say mine. I'll say mine first.
You can go last.
Okay.
It's a better one because it's near and dear to your heart. But as anybody that ever keeps up with MMA, I'm not the biggest fan, but I do watch it. Derek Lewis, my balls are hot, had another moment where he takes off his entire pants and gives it the old school suck it. And this man gets to live his life on the biggest stage and does not care at all. After getting a win.
30 seconds, whatever it was, yeah. Like kick. That was unbelievable.
I mean, he's just one of the boys.
I saw he was from New Orleans, and literally sitting there, he was from New Orleans, and I put $100 on him just because he was from New Orleans. I was like, let's go. I'm in Chicago. We're repping Louisiana tonight. Let's do it. Huh?
I mean, he's insane. And so
he's
shout
a comedian.
Out,
you know what his nickname is?
What is it?
The Black Beast.
Wow.
That's pretty intimidating.
Yeah. The Black Beast.
That's
I'm
pretty
not playing
intimidating. Yeah, I'm not.
Kurt called to him every time he gets a chance to. He always captures the moment the way that you would hope. He never misses.
I love that.
Never misses. Shout out to separate shout out another Louisiana fighter, Dustin Poirier, from Lafayette. Lost, had a Hall of Fame career. I'd imagine he's a Hall of Fame fighter. Very gracious in defeat. Went out and you know I always think that's pretty crazy that you can be that gracious to a guy who's just beating your face in, right? This guy just kicked you in the face, and you're bloody, and you got knocked out, and then all of a sudden you're not knocked out anymore.
Right.
Like came to, and now you're giving each other hugs and like, hey, respect. Like, okay, not me. If you punch me in the face, I'm just never gonna
get away from me.
Yes. Not gonna.
You just knock me out, bro. I don't want to shake your hand.
Yeah, I don't even want to see you. If you're gonna beat me, I don't want to see you.
Yeah.
All right. But shout out to him too. 2 Louisiana fighters. Louisiana is always well represented in the UFC.
Yeah.
I mean, all you have to do is take a stroll in Lafayette to City Bar.
Is this the City Bar's not there anymore?
It's not there.
Well, I know they tore the place
so many
down.
people were fighting.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Or you could go to Nighttown.
Yeah, that too. All right, my curtain call is to, and this could be me and Anthony, so I don't think you have a curtain call. You weren't prepared for this, Seggy. This is ours.
Duel.
Shout out, curtain call to our coach, our friend, Coach Paul Maneri.
Love that. Wow.
Inducted into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. The induction was this past weekend. Had it not been for some prior engagements, I would have loved to be up there to go and celebrate with him.
Same.
Much deserved. He was at LSU from 2007 to 2021. Won a national championship with us in 2009. Made it to Omaha a handful of other times. Probably should have, maybe 2 or 3 under his belt. Baseball's hard. It's very hard to win. The whole thing. He has a career record of 641, 281 and 3 in his 15-year career at LSU.
Sheesh.
That's not even counting the other games that he won at Notre Dame and at Air Force and at St. Thomas.
Yep.
So shout out to our friend Paul Maneri.
Paul Maneri.
I can even say
one
my
of the goats.
friend.
One of the goats.
It took me a long time to win him over, but we
now
got
you guys are
there.
friends.
How do you think you won him over?
Yes. We had the hug.
I think Coach likes you a lot.
Yeah.
No.
It was
The
rockier.
first
I think he was questionable for a little while.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That
He was
first
like, who the fuck is this guy? But
Yeah.
I think that's more what
he
it
would
was.
not play for me.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. Even though he likes you now, you still wouldn't play for him.
No, I know
No,
that.
no.
But he gets
But he
it.
likes you now.
You-
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm around.
He's like, all right,
The
Jared and
first
Mikey like
interview-
him.
The first
He's all
interview we had at
He wanted to make me run.
at Uncle Earl's, Coach was telling a story, and Lloyd interjected like Lloyd likes to do, and like
Yeah.
make his little comment, and Coach just looked at him and just kept talking. Like just gave him one look and just kept talking, and Lloyd just didn't say
I knew those guys.
He basically said, don't ever do that again.
Talk while I'm talking.
Don't ever do
saying.
that. Yeah. You invited me on this goddamn show.
This is my time.
This microphone is mine. Yeah.
You do not do that.
Coach, you said you only had 10 minutes. You've been here for an hour. So,
Well, that's on brand right there.
That is on brand. But seriously, congrats to Coach. That's awesome. It really is.
Yeah,
That's-
he deserved it. Much
does.
deserved.
Yep.
Before we exit, one more shout out, and we don't have their cap on here. We probably left it at the other studio. Couldn't grab it. Our friends at Range Rover at Peretti.
I just brought the Range Rover.
That'd be great. Park the Range Rover in the studio.
Nice.
Range Rover Peretti, our newest sponsor, one of our favorite sponsors. Great people. This is Jared's sponsor. He's not here, so I'm going to take his live read or his promotion of Range Rover.
Nice.
They're great people. They're located off of Airline Highway. They have done a lot over the last couple months for us. They love our show. They love promoting the show. They love LSU. They do a lot of things tailgate-wise before the baseball games, before the football games. Go give them a shot. Go look over it. Go to the dealership. Walk through the dealership. Land Rover has more than just the Range Rover. The Range Rover's nice. It's the Mac Daddy that they have. But they got other options that you may be surprised at the affordability that they have of it.
Bumper.
Well, they don't make the Lexus bumper that you drive. So it's you probably should go to someone
shock
else.
some people when you said that.
Yeah. Used Lexus.
Yes.
From
my uncle.
Yeah. But yes, so Peretti Land Rover, go give him a shot. Go give him a look. Go give him a call. Go visit him on Airline Highway. What a great show today, boys. I enjoyed it. This was fun.
Yeah,
this
was
is a lot of energy here.
I love it.
I'm going to have it's not far from my house, which makes me even happier.
Yeah,
You got to go
this is
back
nice.
home.
I didn't go all the way back.
Very
home.
close to my house.
Yes,
It's
very
nice.
close
I
to
can
your
walk
house.
300
Close
feet.
to my house.
We get
this
to
is
hang out
great.
with friends. I get to hang out with friends at least 3 days a week. It's
We're gonna be
awesome.
able to drink on Friday during the day.
Yes.
It'll be a little early happy hour.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
go to F45. Yeah.
Listen, the new look mic'd up.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Go to F45 after drinking on the show?
Yeah, they'd make me funnel a beer, and they're like, "Oh, you could still work out. You'll
One
be
beer.
Fine."
Oof.
One beer.
One
I mean,
beer.
come on.
I'm not.
Five?
Y'all.
5 beers? Five?
5 full beers.
Look, it's a new look mic'd up. Same show, different look, different studio. Like and subscribe to our channel. We appreciate, look, anytime you click the thumbs up, it helps us out a lot. Comment in the comment section. And Lloyd does a very good job interacting. I try. I'm too ADD to do both at the same time, so Lloyd takes those reins for me.
I forgot to go live. Hold on, let's redo this.
You motherfucker. I would throw this mic right at you. Yeah, please like and subscribe. We'll be live again. Look, we're back on our regular scheduled programming. We'll be live again on Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. and live on Friday from 1 to 3. It'll be happy hour. We're going to promote that more on Wednesday. Anthony, you're going to be on the show again on Wednesday?
I'll be
You
here.
want to?
Yeah.
Great. Jared's coming back on
Wally Pitt.
Wednesday. Listen, we will have a Ask Mikey and Mitch segment on Wednesday, but it'll be Ask Mikey and Anthony.
There we go. I'll answer
Ask
for
Mikey and
Jared.
Tony.
Ask me questions about Jared.
Yeah.
Ask him.
It'll be fun.
I'll let him,
And
I'll
we're
let
going to
loose.
try to we'll try to have another guest. We'll try to have a guest on the show on Wednesday, but we just wanted to make sure we had this thing up and running today to give everybody the content that y'all deserve. If you don't like watching us or you can't watch us and you like listening to us when you drive or you're working or anywhere you get your pods, we appreciate all the love and support, and we are back. We're happy to be back, and we will see y'all on Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your night. Peace.
Thank you, Tony.
That was great.